Venice Boulevard.
We got another one.
Slowly proceeding. It looks like he's stopping at a red light briefly. Speeds have not been
Another
high, but
one.
they're definitely following him. They want to get this person off the road.
No doubt about it. Again, you know, as we know with the LAPD, they are certainly watching these pursuits in a different, probably, way over the last several years. Like you said last night, it was a mental health issue that was happening with the driver. So
Twitter won't let me do this like twice in a day.
Don't know if there is any kind of crime that may have happened before, but this car is now just stopping, Mark.
Okay, he's getting out.
Gestures out.
Is this it?
Like,
What is he doing?
No, it's not it. It's not it.
This is the second night
shit.
of some really erratic behavior on the part of somebody being pursued by the police. So you saw the gestures right there.
Yeah.
Don't know what that was about, but they.
I need to get a browser window. I'm sorry for the nobody that's watching anyway. Hold on. Hey, Canadian lady, welcome.
Stopped and pulled over.
Okay, so we
those
got this chase
gestures,
going
just
on. I
like
need
he
another
was
window, though,
said to
so I
have
can
done
do shit.
Earlier on in the pursuit a few minutes ago, and is continuing now.
Yeah, you just can't figure out what is in the mind of these people who are being pursued by authorities. They certainly do not want to give up, but in the end, they do. Majority of the time, they get caught, they jump out of the vehicle, and they're apprehended, or they just kind of give up after they crash. But the police are being very mindful as well.
They're being very mindful.
Now what's he doing
There's
here, Mark?
again. He opened his door, and yeah, you saw him kind of pantomiming.
It's acting
pulling the trigger.
ridiculous.
Now, other information we're gleaning, and this is again from.
Was he on the sidewalk? I don't know.
Unofficial sources. It's
You tell me.
Chatter.
Welcome, Hannah.
Among the police officers and perhaps the helicopter as well. That a caller, I assume it's a 911 caller. Told
Hockey,
them the person
welcome.
They have weapons in the trunk. Don't know if there are weapons in the actual passenger portion of the vehicle, but he keeps making that gesture, doesn't he, Colleen?
Yeah, and it's concerning. I mean, again, what are police
concerning.
supposed to take away for this if they see this person making gestures? It is just very concerning, and you do see that the police are certainly giving this person a lot of space in between them, and like you said earlier, they're not attempting to do a pit maneuver when they could easily do it.
They
in this
could
area.
easily.
They sure could. It's an industrial area, no residences on either side of the street. It's a wide.
Oh, he's getting
street.
out.
He's out. Look at
Oh,
that.
he's not staying out.
He's pantomiming as if he's got an assault weapon or
This
a
is
rifle, but he
fucking
has
crazy,
his hands
man.
are
You are
empty.
insane.
And he's aiming at the police with
Yo,
his
that's
fingers
crazy, man.
and
That's
pretending
not
to have a
good.
gun. This is very,
This
very
is not
strange,
good.
erratic behavior. And
Not
it's
what you
hard
want to
explain,
see.
But that's what we're seeing now from this person. Again, this is Venice and Arlington in the Victoria Park
GP.
section of LA. You see the
No.
LAPD's Olympic Division officers, we believe, who are now behind this vehicle, keeping their distance, not getting too close, even when he stops.
Yeah.
They're not trying to do a pit maneuver. They are not trying to do any sort of
They're
aggressive
being really
tactics
patient
because
with
of
this
the-
one.
The possibility, the report that they may have received that he has weapons in the trunk of the vehicle. And the fact
Okay.
that he keeps coming out and pointing and miming a weapon.
Exactly. That's the unsettling part he's not going really fast. He's not. It seems like
not going very
it's
fast.
A slow pursuit. I know Air 7 HD has those capabilities for SkyMap 7 to see exactly how fast this
I think
car's going,
ABC is
but
all we
It
got.
looks like it's going under the speed limit. So
Well under the speed limit.
and people are pulling over, and of course it's very clear there's
For
a
now.
pursuit taking place when you see the night sun focus right on this car. But again, when people are dealing with a mental health issue, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
All right, so what we're hearing now is that the suspect was wanted for brandishing a rifle. So the belief that he is armed.
Hey,
is
Stacy,
a real
was
one.
it 5+
And the
cops? I
fact
didn't
that he has
count.
come out with empty hands thus far is not something the officers can rely on as they continue to pursue the suspect. They have to assume that he still has a weapon with him. We don't know whether it's in the cab or in the passenger portion of the vehicle or whether it's in the trunk. But either way,
If you saw
they have to
5+
be
cops, I'll
extremely
take your word
careful.
for
That's
it.
why they are content, even though he's only
Okay,
going
they're on
about 20 miles an
KCAL as
hour.
well. Should I be on that?
Los Angeles.
Yeah. This is, and again, you are it's 11 p.m. You are course, watching Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. I'm Colleen Sullivan along with Mark Brown. We're talking about this pursuit. It's taking place. We started watching it
with the very latest.
almost 10 minutes ago. And on reports that this suspect may have weapons in the trunk, but we've been seeing the suspect stop,
where's the
get out of
Sky
car,
5?
make
Well,
sort of
I'm
weird
using the wrong
hand
fucking
gestures that
link
almost
or
like
something.
insinuating that they have a gun in their hand, but they are empty-handed.
What's
So
the link?
It's very strange.
It is strange. I guess if there's any good news about this, is that he's not driving really fast. He's not, the vehicle itself
I got
not
it.
presenting a danger to the public, but the
I think,
suspect
yeah, I got it.
is
Okay,
the
I
one
got
that is perceived to be the possible dangerous element
got it.
to this. The possibility that he may be armed, and the report that he may be armed, brandishing a weapon. So that's the report that came into police. They are acting on that information and acting with caution as he continues now on Washington, heading into.
Okay, we'll switch over there. Director Andy playing here.
And not running red lights.
Yeah, that's the good news, right? I mean, if you're going to look for a silver lining in a situation,
If you're
like
looking
this,
for a
now
silver
sudden
lining.
Stop. The door opens once again.
Okay.
And we're going to.
Actually, I like the other video better.
Shot again, as we've been describing, this suspect.
He's
has,
still,
has
man,
begun
this
to
isn't it though,
stop
right? He's
several
not
times,
done.
Opened the door and
This isn't over.
Pointed something at officers, whether it was a weapon or just his hand or something else, we do not know. But now it looks as though he's waving his hands and arms and may be complying at this point. And moving
He's
toward
not
officers,
complying. Are you
waving his
kidding
arms.
me?
That is not what they're directing
That is
him to
not
do, to be
compliance.
sure. But it looks as though at least he's out
Yeah.
of the car for the
What's
moment.
up, man?
How long that lasts
Gimos,
is anybody's guess. He could be jumping back
G1
in.
Mas. I don't know how to say your name.
Exactly. There, you know, the LAPD is going to want that
Gimos?
person to do certain things when they get out like that. Certainly throw the key out the door first to make sure that
Well,
car
yeah,
can't go any
seriously.
further,
Hannah,
and then
this
have
guy
that
is-
person comply with them walking backwards with their hands up. This guy's not doing anything of that nature at all. He's actually facing the officers very
Man, this is
angrily,
psychotic.
maybe waving his hands there.
Gizmo.
But at this point, it is a felony stop.
Gizmo.
There is some cars going by on the opposite direction.
Okay.
He's going to go back into his car, shut the door. We may see this take off once again.
Oh, and
He's-
here comes
yeah,
the
this isn't
defiance.
over.
Yeah, so he gets out of the car. It looks like he's having,
Yeah, Stacy's
shouting
like
at the-
doing
at
this
the
gun
officers
thing
there,
too.
having
He's like
some kind of
going
a
like this
conversation
and
with
flipping them off and all
some
kinds of stuff.
6 officers that are in pursuit right there, and waving his arms, flailing, but then gets back in his car and continues on this slow speed pursuit down Washington Boulevard, westbound. You do have the night sun over him. We have the not only our airship, but obviously the authorities' LAPD airship. This has been going on for just about 10 minutes now, and started on La Brea and Venice. Failure to yield, wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. We do not know if he is armed in there, but he is not driving erratically, but acting erratically.
Is
That's
Eliana out there
It's not as
tonight?
though he wants to run. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. He's moving a little bit. He'll go a quarter of a mile and then stop.
yet,
and
but
he'll
maybe.
move very slowly. So, again, a silver lining if you want to find one in what is a very difficult and tense situation for officers on the ground here as they're confronting a suspect who may well be armed. We cannot confirm that he has a weapon, that he's
Share that lady.
potentially pointing it in the direction of officers, but his body language
Yeah.
would indicate
Hannah, he
that
wasn't
may
giving up
well
when he
have a
got out.
weapon. The description that he's pointing toward officers, pointing something, is concerning enough for officers, and they're keeping a bit of a distance here. Our camera will pull wide when he stops, just out of an abundance of caution. But again, it appears this driver is the only person in the car. From what we can tell, we haven't been told otherwise. His windows are blacked out, making it very difficult.
Is this going to
to
turn
see
into a
inside the
parade?
vehicle.
I should have put
But
that
what
on
you're
the
seeing here
on the
is essentially what we've been
bingo
watching
card
since
today. I
this pursuit
forgot.
started some 10 minutes ago.
Didn't we talk
in
about
the
that last
mid-city area.
night, or-
Assault with a deadly weapon,
Mercedes,
failure
I
to
believe.
yield,
I don't
and
remember.
the list of charges grows by the minute here.
Had a lot of chases in the
as
last
authorities
couple
continue
days.
their pursuit. Gil, slow speeds, and that's a good thing on surface streets in particular.
Mike, it's a good thing, and actually stopping at lights, I'm going to come out wider and tell you that now it sounds like the LAPD, I should say, they're definitely more comfortable at this point with putting out some spike strips. So we'll see if that happens shortly. We're not going to give away any locations of that.
He doesn't seem like he's trying very hard to like evade something like a spike strip or
creeping into that intersection, but fortunately not very
they'll
busy.
probably be able to get him pretty easily,
Stopping
but
there
we'll see.
in the center. The units behind getting into their position for another felony stop, but it appears that once that light turns green, this guy is going to take off once again.
Of course.
Yeah, they're in the middle of the intersection. Nonetheless, the windows, it looks like that they're still up. They haven't come down. It's only when he
Someone was
comes
doing
out of the
donuts.
car that
Maybe
we
it was the
see,
guy from last night.
The driver, again, pointing his maybe his
You
hands,
thought the
maybe a
same thing.
weapon at the officers, but it looks like he's just taking a stance when he comes out, gesturing as if he's pointing something at the officers. This is an older model Mercedes that is in pursuit right now by some 5 or 6 black and whites from the LAPD, patiently waiting for the moment to try
They are
and
being
take
very
this
patient.
suspect into custody. But now the suspect speeding up just a little bit and making his way through another intersection there, Crenshaw and Washington Boulevard.
Fortunately, a green light, and not prone to running red lights.
Okay, this
blowing
cop's
through
coming up
intersections.
like
Now
he's
you have a
he's
new
serious.
lead car taking over here, as you'll see them do, rotating out. Nerves can be frayed in situations like this. A fresh set of eyes and a fresh set of nerves is always important, particularly when you're dealing with someone who's stopping and getting out of the car and being essentially combative from a distance from what we can tell with officers.
True.
Flailing his arms, to be sure, arguing, it would appear, but then getting back in the car and continuing to drive.
Hey, Sam, it didn't look like it.
We see the officers, when the suspect does manage to stop, get into their felony stop position. Gil, it didn't look as though they got out of their cars last time, waiting for something more before they decide to exit the vehicles.
Micah, they did not. They stayed put. They got into their positions with their vehicles, but did not get out. The driver did not get out. If you noticed, just a couple streets back, just before Crenshaw, there was a LAPD unit on a side street. We believe that's where the spike strip
So Gil
attempt
works for
was
KTLA
tried.
now?
That's where we saw the driver speed up, go through Crenshaw, and then continue
Has
here.
been,
But
I
it
guess.
sounds like that was not successful, and it sounds like they may try again up ahead at some point.
They're going to try again?
It looks like the LAPD's very comfortable with attempting the spike strip. That unit
Or he
that
evaded
took
the
the lead
spike
there
strip.
might be a pit qualified unit that is able to do the pit maneuver, the pursuit
Yeah, true,
intervention
Stacy.
technique that spins out the car if they happen to need that. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes here if they try once again.
That
to
thing
do
would
a
be the
spike strip in
end
front of
of
this car.
chases.
It's a good area to
That
try
fucking
a
thing,
spike strip
if the
because
LAPD
it's
had
a
those things, if
three-lane
the
road,
CHP
essentially,
had those
here that
things,
the driver's on. So
my content would be wrecked.
if it's done properly with the safety in mind for the officer that's doing it, they may be able to get a successful spike strip on the vehicle. We'll see.
Yeah, he's making his way westbound.
'Cause
again
why would you
here
do a
on,
spike strip when you could do
Washington
that?
Boulevard.
Why would you do a
So
pit maneuver when you
essentially,
could do
as
that
he makes
thing?
his way
The grapple
westbound
thing.
toward Highland now.
If you don't know what I'm
He's,
talking about,
nearing,
earlier
almost,
today there was a chase
a
where
complete,
it had a really
s-
unique ending.
Square.
Check out the clip.
Or circle around this neighborhood from Venice all the way down to Western, eastbound, and then all the way back up Washington, and now here at La Brea again. This is
Yeah.
right about
Yeah,
where the
true.
pursuit started on La Brea and Venice, and he's
They also
heading in
went
that
right at
direction.
him.
So it would be a one complete circle around this neighborhood.
That's exactly right, Sharon. Northbound here on La Brea, the
They were
LAPD now
aggressive.
readjusting their plans to try to get a spike strip ahead of this vehicle. And you're right, a full circle. There's someone there on the sidewalk.
Okay, we
Looks
got
like
a
they may have
parade.
been gesturing to the driver. He hits the brakes. Here he comes out of the vehicle again.
Okay, we got civilian
waving
interaction now.
And pointing at the officers once again.
And again, we're going to hold this wide shot. This appears to be.
I gotta add
confrontational in
parade. That's one
nature,
thing that we talked
with
about
the
last
gesticulation
night.
of the suspect waving his
Instead of
arms at
evade spike
officers
strip, it's
again,
gonna be
back in the
parade.
car and on the move once again. Obviously, the officers are going to issue commands for the suspect when he stops. And
Here he
among
goes
those
again.
commands will never be to face officers and wave your arms. So you know what's happening here is full and complete defiance. He's angry. He's not getting what he wants. You would guess that he's asking for something. Obviously, officers aren't going to capitulate in a situation like that. There's a nice close shot of that older model Mercedes.
He's
and
out.
Again, he stops. We hold wide, and the officers.
He's fucking around. He's getting back in the car.
At this point, like maybe they're getting out of their
For
vehicles.
sure, he's getting back
And
in
trying
the
to
car.
establish a line of communication, which is very important in a situation like this. Get a dialogue going, and see what this guy wants, and try and talk some sense into the situation and bring it to an end peacefully.
Like, what do you think?
This is the
How
way you
loud
want
do
it
you
to
think this
end,
is down there?
but you see
Are
them
they
there
like
waving
projecting like
officers,
big
and
loud ass
clearly
noises to
agitated
him
and
right now?
yelling
I
at
would
them.
think so, right?
This is
They've got like a
challenging and it's
megaphone
tense.
going back
It
up,
certainly is. It's tense
you
to
know,
watch
stop.
because you're hoping that he
around.
would just drop the keys, at least comply with the officers who are asking him to.
Like, this whole thing
surrender
just driving down
peacefully
your street
to
would just
them.
be like a circus.
And you know, this could all be over for everybody, especially those people that are in this neighborhood at this hour on a Friday night, hearing helicopters
Nobody's
over
sleeping
their
in
neighborhood,
that neighborhood now.
and wondering what's going on. Be sure that you're hearing sirens as well, and but definitely the helicopters. It can be quite disturbing at 11 o'clock at night, but nonetheless, here is this guy. He comes
Getting
out
out again.
and
He continuously puts his hands up to let them know, like, hey, I'm not going to shoot you,
because we
but
are
I'm going
live,
to talk my shit.
don't show anything graphic, and so we want to make sure that it looks like he is moving away from the car,
Dude, he's going to
talking
get back
to the
in the car.
officers. And did he throw something?
He's
Yeah, if you're
acting
sitting
like
in
he's
that
throwing
fucking
something,
drive-thru.
went underhand and then overhand. with
Is
his
it over,
right
Chad? Oh,
hand.
no,
There
it's
he goes
not
again,
over.
Both hands that time. But you see the
It's not
officer's
over.
positions there. It's very tense for those officers because he suddenly stops. He quickly jumps out and starts pointing and waving towards them. So a very tense situation for those officers to deal with. The officers
I mean,
in
it
the rear,
could
they
be
come up
over,
to
I
the
guess,
front
but
two
he keeps
vehicles
getting out of the
take
car
their
and then getting
positions
back in,
there.
so I
And then
think
once the
he's
guy
about to
jumps
get back in the
They have to
car.
run back to their vehicles, and it all starts all over again. So very frustrating for sure for the LAPD, but they're being very patient with this driver.
Yeah,
the
here he
airship
goes.
overhead, keeping a keen eye on
Here he
the
goes.
driver. There goes the officers running back to their vehicles.
They all
There
got
goes the
to
driver
scramble back
taking
to
out
their
out
cars.
to La Brea, now at Venice. So let's see if
Come
he makes
on.
that right turn. It's going to be a complete circle, and certainly it is.
Yep, and back on the move. So whatever it is he's trying to get through, it's not working out. He's an officer's trying to communicate with this suspect to just get him to surrender. And it looked as though he may have been throwing something. What they'd want him to do is throw the keys to the vehicle, and he was gesturing as
What do
though
you
he
guys
was
think he
throwing
threw?
something or pointing at them.
This
You
has
know,
been going on for
it's just so hard
18
to tell.
minutes.
And you know, in a situation like this for officers, you know, the last
Save
thing
the
they want to do
chalupa.
is find themselves shooting at an unarmed suspect. But you know, it's provocation that often tips the balance in a gesture that's misinterpreted, and it can very easily be misinterpreted.
No NBC still.
Especially at night, especially with the lights and
Yeah,
with the
right.
agitation and the
Stacey, you're right.
adrenaline,
It's kind of
things can
boring.
be misunderstood and
But
misinterpreted. and
it doesn't seem
doesn't
like it's
end well for the
overly
suspect in situations
unsafe
like
at
that.
all.
You've got to comply.
He-
and
yeah,
you've
I
got
think
to
you're probably right. He
surrender
didn't throw
and do
anything.
it peacefully, and nobody gets hurt. And that's what officers are trying to get through to this suspect. To this point, he's not listening. Again, the silver lining, he's not moving fast. He's not blowing through intersections. You know, as we often see, blowing through red lights at 40, 50 miles an hour, you hold your breath. It could be a violent collision. We're not seeing any of that here. This is suspect versus officers at this point, and let's
Yeah, I
hope
guess
it
you're
ends
right.
peacefully for everyone.
That's
Right,
got to be
and,
it.
and he's in a relatively,
He's just pantomiming throwing keys at him.
excuse me, he's in a relatively area that's, doesn't have too many restaurants and nightlife, so it's a bit sparse, as you can see. Not too much traffic at this hour there. Not too many pedestrians walking around.
Surprise ramming.
But, nonetheless, there are the
That sounds hot.
motorists, and like you said, he's still staying at normal speeds, well, a little bit light. That's the most dramatic move we've seen
That's
him
the
make.
most dramatic
at this
move he's
point,
made.
Getting in front of this car here and making his way down. Are we on Venice or La Brea?
What is
again?
white car guy thinking?
It's now southbound La Brea from Venice. We saw that U-turn made for the first time, and a little bit of aggressiveness there on that turn from the wrong lane across in front of that white car. The white car seemed a little bit agitated.
Yeah, I know.
But here
The
comes
intrigue
another
is going
turn
up. Oh
into
no,
a
he's gonna
side
hit it
street.
dead
So here
end.
we go into a neighborhood now.
Don't do that, man.
Which
This
will
this guy's
change this
prime
dynamic a
candidate
little
for
bit.
dead end, isn't he?
Through this narrow street, this is going to be Elmo Drive, and now back north, back towards Venice. So
His problem
we'll see if
isn't
the
on the
driver
ground;
comes
it's in the
out
area.
to Venice and makes a right and continue that pattern.
What's up, real
again.
time fan?
But,
I
so
think
far
right
we
now this
haven't
guy's
seen
gonna
the
drive to
driver
a dead
jump
end.
out
I've
in
seen
the
this a
last
million
couple
times.
minutes. That's good news. But we'll see if they try to get a spike strip once again out in front of this vehicle.
How are you gonna
Yeah,
spike
that's
strip him
been
in this
the
neighborhood? They're
approach
not
for
gonna do that.
officers. They've obviously been unsuccessful to this point, but as part of their playbook in this situation, it is a spike strip, and they are efforting that as the driver moves along. He's moving relatively slowly, and again, as best we know, it's just the driver in this vehicle wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. This happening in the mid-city area, starting at Venice and La Brea, LAPD
Whatever the fuck
failure
that
to
means.
yield. And on we move here. This is a better part of a half an hour now. This has been ongoing, and the suspect
He may
will
not have done
periodically
anything
stop,
violent at
get
all.
out of the car as though he's going to surrender.
Snag move him, I know, man. Hey, this ain't acceptable. And no, I'm not connected to a VPN.
When you see him driving, both hands are on the
Okay,
steering
you're out.
wheel, like
Sorry.
is not
KCLA, Gil,
exhibiting
fuck
that
off.
sort of erratic
Out
behavior
of abundance
behind
of
Nope,
the
don't
wheel
you?
caution.
You're
at
too
all
late.
but-
behind
Save
the
it,
wheel.
Gil.
That's I think why it's so suddenly unsettling when they open the door and they fly out of there and then they start pointing their hands as if they have some sort of weapon in their hand, like miming that they do. See, but this is
Oh boy, this is a taco stand
yeah, this
here.
exactly.
He keeps driving by these people.
This is where it gets dicey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out
It's
here,
not
and
getting
that's a
that
whole different
dicey.
calculus because you've got civilians in the area,
It's
you got
not that
bystanders,
dicey.
innocent bystanders, and you know, we just don't know what's going to happen. But it's just strange, right? He's going. What is he? Probably 10 miles an hour here.
Not even. I would say not even 10 miles an hour right now. I mean, it looks like
They probably are
he's
good
about to
tacos.
stop again.
He should get
And-
some. That's when it gets
We're just not.
dicey.
I mean, you and I, we're not
'Cause he
really used
drove
to seeing
by
a chase like
fucking
this
taco
take place,
stand.
where there's just. I mean, it just said 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's just unusual, and I've never seen anyone taunt the police quite like that.
It's
where you
dicey
just
'cause
keep
he wants
getting
a
out.
place
Now
to
he's
eat.
getting out again. See,
Oh, he's
and
out
he just
again.
does that. You keep thinking he's going to put his arms up and say, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah, he's not done
But
though.
maybe his
Spoiler alert,
family is
he's not
talking to
done.
The authorities as well.
This call apparently began with a report of an assault, a report that this individual has a weapon in the trunk of his car and perhaps one in his waistband. We have seen neither, and there have been an attempt. The LAPD's Olympic Division was the initial portion of the agency that responded to this. They pulled him over.
This is fun,
in
though.
this Mercedes at La Brea and Washington. He made hand gestures.
It's not as
basically
good
like
as last
these,
night's, but
got
it's
back
pretty
in the
good.
car and drove off. And since then, it has been a slow pursuit where every now and then he gets out and makes those gestures and gets back in the car.
Yeah.
And because of the report that he is armed, because of the fact that they're getting reports that he may have a weapon with him, they cannot abandon this. This is not, this by itself, what he's doing, not necessarily criminal. It's maybe misdemeanor reckless driving, but that would be a hard argument to make since he's only going 20 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Like
So-
sometimes you have to wonder what's going on with the suspect. Do they actually
Sure,
have
we
any
are
weapons
live.
in their car?
We're live, baby.
Of course, it's
Welcome.
going to be impossible right now for
He's
for law enforcement.
these
to
roads
know.
are shitty.
But again, they're
He's just
clearly exhibiting
raging.
behavior that shows that they are unstable. I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
everything
there's no doubt
about
it.
this has shown
How
that he's
authorities are
unstable.
going
Good
to handle
observation
this, how-
there.
And it is amazing because they haven't done a pit maneuver, which they are usually very quick to
Look
do
at all
that.
these
But I
cops
guess
just
if they
riding behind them.
think this
Like,
person
oh my God, look at this.
is
This
on-
has
are there
turned
people
into a
out of
fucking
their
thing
cars
now.
trying to videotape
What is
this,
this?
Following this. Oh,
You gotta
no,
be
this
kidding
is-
me.
Crazy. This is an LA moment.
Wow,
we're
this is
looking
an
at
LA
here.
moment, and there's a lot of people
This
following
is
it,
an
not
LA
just that
moment,
one
yeah.
car with the two people
Yeah.
hanging out of the
This
side.
is it.
It's absolutely that's just
Unbelievable.
not behavior you need to do.
The hell of a
Just
scene out
ugly,
here.
yeah.
But somehow predictable.
It's just funny to me all the
It's
time
a
when the
Friday
cops just
night
do
in
the
Los
exact
Angeles.
same thing the guy
People wanna get
does.
their social
All of
media
them just
hits or
right in a
whatever,
row.
And they're looking at this as something that they can latch onto and do. It's pretty astounding.
It's like a fucking like
Somebody
ants
who
following
may
each
or
other.
May not be in a mental health crisis.
Yeah, Chado, I think they're
somebody who may
probably
have
on
a lot of
IG
things
Live or
going on,
something, you know?
And folks are
If anybody
involved
can
in this,
find
it's
that
pretty,
stream.
pretty strange to watch, but somehow very
Apropos,
predictable.
yes, exactly. No, we've definitely seen bystanders. Sometimes it seems like they take part in it. You know, bringing
That's
somebody
Nest,
water,
his
or bringing
cousins.
somebody food. We've seen people come out to the cars and approach these drivers. So
Where is
hopefully,
Nest?
nobody interferes. But as of right now, the authorities
Nest,
have
are
a
you
pretty
here?
good buffer between. Well, now we're finally coming up to an intersection where there are a couple vehicles. Yeah, well.
Venice and La Brea.
Okay.
And I would dare say, Colleen, that absent the report of a weapon
He's doing his
possibly being in
accounting
this
while
vehicle,
driving.
they would have
Okay.
abandoned this a long time ago.
Oh,
Sounds
absolutely.
You know, if they
legit.
didn't have a report that he had a gun, they would probably have stepped away and said, we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, it's Friday night in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
there's plenty of other things going on. But this is the report, and they have to proceed as if he is armed, because you don't let an armed person who's behaving erratically like this continue going when somebody's reported that that's what's happening with them.
I guess so.
La Brea and Venice Boulevard, and
It does
there
seem
he
a little
goes, getting
ridiculous,
out
but I
again,
guess that's
hands
true.
Still empty, yelling at the.
But we're no
An
oh, okay,
abacus?
well, we're just learning,
What's an
some new
abacus?
details that they're going to cancel this pursuit. There is no evidence that there
Is that
was
some
an assault
accounting
that has
shit?
taken place. Again, we do not know if there are any weapons in this person's
Oh,
car, but
U-turn.
Now, of course, the first
Oh.
time that they
Euro
actually
time.
called it off. Now, what is this person
Oh
doing?
shit!
Now
Don't
he's
get in a
that's
crash, man.
unusual. What on earth is this person doing now?
Now
Okay,
he's
this
driving
just
faster.
changed a little bit. We just got a
Police
little
have
bit.
backed off. They've decided it wasn't worth continuing
Old
to
time
deal with.
calculator, okay.
No evidence of a pursuit.
Mark, we may have spoken too soon.
Yep.
We are learning that they are going to probably re-engage with this pursuit.
Of course,
So, of
dude,
course,
they
their
just
7HC is
disengaged
still
like
here. But you
30
don't see the
seconds
night
ago.
sun, You don't see.
And they're acting
um,
like we are
the
hearing now they're
law
going to
enforcement
re-engage.
helicopter
Dude, they just
overhead.
went.
So
They
maybe
just
this
stopped
person is
like
thinking
30
that this
seconds
pursuit is
ago.
over.
I don't know, but it looks like he might be driving on the wrong side of the road.
That's what exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. He's on Venice and Longwood.
Okay, where's he at?
Drivers, when you see that, how
Yeah, Euro time. I'm
unsettling
looking
is
for
that
it.
when you see a
Good call.
car heading right for you. I can't see it.
Now
Mark.
he's turned around. Now
Okay,
he's
that's
turned around
him.
Going the right
That's
way,
him.
It would appear. Yeah, that's him.
The cops are back.
In that silver Mercedes C230. Finally stepping on the gas here a
Roller.
little bit.
Big time.
Still
Nope.
driving in a very strange way.
Last chase, and
Yeah,
you
it's a
told
police
him to shut the fuck
motorcycle
up.
just
I don't
passed.
know.
That's just
What was
the
that?
most unusual pursuit. When
One of
you
the-
hear
one of
that,
the news
now he's
people?
going to pass them. I mean, come on. This is past both.
What
the
is he wanted for,
motorcycle,
Sharp? This guy's wanted
officers.
for.
And now the speed is
The
picked
somebody
up.
called
There's
and said
7
that
HD.
he
You can clock
did
him now.
something
It'd be
with a
interesting to see
weapon.
what
It's
his
some
speed is
sort
at
of
the
assault
moment.
with a weapon thing.
He was going so
And then they
slowly
went to
before
pull
that
him
any speed
over,
at
and he
all looks
didn't
pretty
pull over.
Fast, but he could still be within the
What?
speed limit, and he's
This
just
keeps
basically
doing
going in
U-turns
circles
and-
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
going
Stacey,
into-
they're all
going
there
in
now.
circles, and
So it's a
amazing
cop
that
party
that
now.
is definitely
They
going
they
faster.
disengaged,
What
and then all of a
is- I
sudden
mean,
there's
look
more
at
of
that.
them.
50, 58, 59 miles an hour, 52.
It's
now
going
slowing
actually
down,
pretty quick.
going through the
He
intersection
should get on the
right there.
highway.
Now he's a danger to the public. If he's going to be doing this, if he's
That's
gonna
what
be
he should do is
speeding
get on the
around,
highway.
That adds a new element to this.
What is
And
this
you've got a
cop
motorcycle
doing?
officer now behind him.
Yeah.
That's an interesting element. You don't ordinarily
It's
see
an
that during a
interesting
pursuit.
element.
Exactly.
motorcycle
It's very
officer
dangerous
is-
for
is-
these
yeah.
Yeah,
motorcycle
sharp.
officers
Yeah,
to be
there's
involved in
exactly.
pursuits. I
That's
mean,
there's such a wide
but
range of things
you
that
ha-
that can
and
mean.
please tell me, is this person going to follow that? This is
Now he's
unusual.
pursuing the
Now
police.
he's following the authorities. This is just remarkable. Now is he
There,
gonna get
there's
out?
no
Here we
more
go.
night sun.
Stopped
They,
again.
I guess when they,
Yeah,
there
now
it
the
is.
night sun's back.
It's
now
back.
he's going to get out. Now he's going to act like he has some sort of. You know, every now and then it looks. I can't think of the
guy
movie
is
that it looks like
tripping
he's doing,
out.
but it looks like he's imitating a certain movie, and I cannot remember the movie. But when you get out and one arm goes one direction, as if you. I'm going to say like the Matrix or something, but it is just like one of these ridiculous scenes where this person is imitating something, like there are police all around him.
Venice and St. Charles Place. And again, he's kind of just been circling this area with about a 1 or 2 block area in the last 10 minutes or so. He's just been going
Should
around
you
and around
turn
in a
on
big
him?
loop, or a small loop actually. And the police had stopped the pursuit, and it appears now they may be re-engaging with the pursuit. Air
They're
7
pretty
HD,
well
they're definitely
re-engaged. They're
there,
right
and, this
behind
night
his
sun is on
ass.
him.
Oh, there's a spike strip.
Spike strip.
What is
You
that?
drive
Did
over
you
it?
just hit
They did a spike strip here.
on,
We
replay,
don't know if they
replay.
got him. We'll find out
Replay.
shortly. Takes a couple of minutes for the tires to deflate if they in fact got him with that spike strip.
You know, these could be those run flat tires, though, which then make it very, very slow, slow.
It would take a well. It wouldn't happen. Although I think BMWs have the run flat tires. I
Yeah.
don't know if this model of Mercedes has run flat tires. Something we can look up. Maybe
Yeah, it
our
looks
car
like he
specialist
ran
Dave
over it.
Coons
Dave Coons is
available.
always on the spot. I tell you, you say something out loud, Dave Coons is here to. It's like almost instantaneous
Yeah.
where you get the.
Looks like he
response
ran
from Dave.
over it.
But
So
I don't
we'll
see any sparks. But again, it does take a while for those spiked.
I don't
strips
see
to,
sparks.
to
That
see
could be
things.
You know, the
fucking
tire
30
would-
minutes
they're
from
designed to
now.
have the tires flatten gradually, so it's not a catastrophic. thing
What?
where the
You
car
don't see
immediately loses
sparks?
Control, and they
You get sparks when you
spin
get a
out.
flat
They
tire?
don't want that to happen in the wrong place, but it will affect the controllability of the car as the tires get flat, if they get flat, and we don't know if that's happened yet.
The news people I know,
couldn't see
right?
exactly if
Gil was
this
better,
driver made really good contact
But they're
with that
actually off the
spike
air or
strip.
something
let's
now. I don't know
look.
what
Is that
happened.
the right front
Looks
tire?
like the
Did it?
right. Wow, I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell. With these low-profile tires, you can't always tell.
The
from-
low
from-
profile
from 1,000
tires,
feet
yeah,
up in the
it's
air.
hard to tell.
Unless you see it start to shred, which
She's
would
new
happen
here.
if he continues. Yeah, it looks like the right front tire's down.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe the right
The
rear.
back one looks, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, the right.
looks
Yeah,
like-
definitely the right front tire is out. Looks
Okay.
like the right rear tire also.
Yeah, they both
Yeah,
look bad,
exactly.
but
Looks like
I don't
both
know. I don't remember what they looked like
Well,
before.
that's good. See, then you just, I mean, the control of the car is just so difficult. We have seen cars ride on the rims for a long period of time.
Yeah,
sparking all over the
Stacy,
place, and
The thing is,
it's
though, I
incredible
am
to
sure
see
what
the
I would be
drivers-
saying because
oh,
I do
yeah,
it
you
all
can
the
see 'em losing
time,
control
and
down
they
a little bit.
suck.
Definitely,
Like they
you
should
see
get
it
me
kinda
on here.
wobbling and
Yes.
wiggling. We don't know what's on the left side of the car either. If they got the tires on that side, we may be able to
It's
find out if he
faster
makes another
bedtime.
loop. We'll be able to see
Seriously,
the
they should
driver's
bring
side of the
me
vehicle.
on
This is a
because
Mercedes
I am
Benz
like the expert on this, right?
C230,
They
I
should,
believe,
instead
that
of
is
having
being
the studio
pursued by
people
the
talk, if
LAPD
they don't have anybody in the
after an
elevator
initial
to talk,
report of an
oh
assault
shit, I gotta reset
and
that. Damn it.
that the idea that he may have a
Um,
weapon either in the trunk or
They
on
could
his
just call
waistband
me.
or both.
You know, they
Well,
could
this
just
is
bring
always
me
what's
on.
hard, Mark, remember when we're watching, you know, this person has
Instead of
been very
having them talk
courteous
right
to other
now,
drivers on
I'd
the
just
road,
come on there.
but
They'd
when
be
you don't
like,
have
all right,
control
so
of the
snooze.
car, you just
What
always feel like
usually
you're
happens
driving
in
on
this kind of
ice
situation, or
when,
what have you
know,
seen
it's-
before? And I'll
you
like
see
say
these-
some shit, and it
it's
won't be
just gonna
boring like when
impossible
they
to
bring on
control that
the
vehicle.
police guys,
they're
the
so
former
heavy.
police officers.
Venice and
They bring those guys
Longwood,
on and they're fucking
unlike the
boring and they
people
just
that we
say
are
dumb
seeing on the
shit.
street with their
But if they brought
phones,
me
some
on,
of
I'd
them
be
they actually
entertaining.
We're following this in their vehicles. If you're
Just
in this
saying.
area, please stay inside. Please do not go outside and try to take a look at this. We don't know how this will end.
Please do not
We
go
don't
outside.
know what sort of behaviors this person will undertake. If and when he can't drive this vehicle anymore, he may make a run for it. There is still the possibility of some sort of violence, And we just don't know.
Come on.
It's a whole big unknown, and so rather than grapple with that, we advise
There's still
everyone
potential
in the area to
violence.
stay
Okay.
away. Look at the two tires on the right side.
Should I
definitely
add
flat,
tracking mode? They kind of went
but
into
definitely
tracking
appearing
mode for a
flat.
second,
was
didn't
gonna
they?
say,
They did.
because I can't have a good gauge
I'm
of what
gonna
the
add
other
that.
side looks
Yeah.
like.
What
can't
have I
tell how
missed?
thick these tires actually
Yeah.
are.
Have we got a
Every-
gas
every
one
time
yet?
he makes a
Profile.
turn, it's going to be harder to control. Starting, stopping becomes a little more sloppy. It's going to be harder to control the vehicle.
So want to get a
You really see
beverage,
those
but
tires
dare
then
not step away.
eventually,
I know how you feel.
peeling off from that rim, and that's when you start seeing all those sparks. They do end up, usually end up crashing.
They can, definitely.
They good.
So far, he's
Oh
sitting
my
still,
goodness.
so the flatness of the tire is not a factor. If
Is
he's not
Eliana there
moving.
yet?
This
I
is
guess
a
they're
Venice and
not
La
going,
Brea.
man. MVC's
Very
not going to
big
go to this one.
intersection in
If
Southern
they're not there
California
now,
and LA.
they're
This is a busy intersection.
KTLA,
Even
I
on
don't even
Friday night,
fucking
there's going to
know.
be cars at all corners at all times, pretty much. We see that here now. And he is sitting out there in the middle of the intersection, quite a spectacle to
Is
all
it
the
on
people who've
CBS
been-
yet?
who are
Yeah, it's
going
on
through.
CBS.
And again, this is the
Okay,
same
we got
road
another
probably
option
he's
if you
been
guys
in
wanna see
for
it.
at
A lot of
least the
taunting
last
here.
half
It's
hour.
Very
got-
rarely see him
Exactly.
get
I
out
guess
of
And
speed.
Desmond
not just
talking.
just
He's
making it
better.
and just
He's
doing a
better for
U-turn
sure.
every time he
So let's do that. He's better. Sorry. Director Andy over here.
Guns in his hands and then throwing up, his arms like, what are you going to do about it? I'm just going over the body language here is extremely
I don't know what
weird.
the timing
And
is different on
here's
this right
officers
now.
down here, and yeah, okay. So I mentioned the green rifle, and there it is. There's the less than lethal, and that's either going to be beanbags.
Like, did we go
or
back in
pepper
time or
balls,
forward?
right there. So that is what they do have trained on the suspect, and they're keeping their distance.
It looked like
know what
both
makes
of the
this so
tires on the
unusual, too?
passenger side
Continuing to
were
do his
out.
thing.
Yeah, and you said do his thing.
It
and you're
almost
right,
does.
Desmond, because
Sure,
he
it does
spent-
seem like
this is
no.
a,
This is
little
they're
bit
in the
of time
future.
here. It's
This
not
is
like he
happening
just
on the
jumps
other
out
one
and
now.
jumps
It's
right
ahead
back in the
actually.
car. Now, yep, he's
Yeah,
walking
and-
It's
closer.
ahead.
And I'm wondering if they're just waiting for him to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
step just a
Gizmo,
couple
I think
more
you're right.
feet
He thinks he's
away
Scarface. I thought the same
before
thing.
They, launch one of these beanbags or pepper balls at the suspect because he is starting to kind of creep.
Yeah, this was in the
creep
future,
away.
man.
He'll
We
get
when
maybe
we
10 feet
switched,
away from his
we
car
jumped
and then
ahead
come
like
back.
I don't know
And
how long.
Just would love
20
to
seconds.
know what he is shouting at the officers
Oh, there he goes. He's
right
getting
now, and yeah.
back
What
in the
happened to
vehicle.
Phoenix?
Uh,
There's
yeah,
a
and,
crazy
this,
chase in
this could
Phoenix
go on
today.
for hours. I mean, who knows how long this person wants to drag this out? But okay,
There's
another
another one.
spike
Oh,
strip,
evaded it
so
that
answers
time.
That question.
Suck it.
That they are willing to spike someone that they believe could be armed. Unfortunately, he saw that one coming, and not the perfect.
Not
deployment
this
there, so
time.
kind of swerved to the left to get out of the way.
You know what was interesting? So they were. I think, he didn't notice it because his back was turned. And while his back was turned for that period of time when he was taunting police officers, there were other officers behind him laying down that spike strip.
Right.
that how that went
so yeah,
down?
when he gets out.
Oh, that's clever.
It looks like it. It looks like the officer was kind of able to set up there.
Yeah, he
a
should do
little
that,
bit
Shark.
and try to give a bit of a surprise for the suspect while he was out hooting and hollering at.
You saw people
LAPD.
throw
And
something
now
at the
we're hearing
car?
that, they did attempt.
I feel like we
to
saw
hit the
something like that
suspect with,
recently.
A foam bullet, so not a pepper ball and not a beanbag, but they also have these foam bullets. So there's different types of.
They shot
less
him?
than lethal ammunition
With the
that
foam?
LAPD has, and it sounds like they have some.
Like
some
Nerf?
think of it.
They shot him with a
as
Nerf
kind of
gun?
somewhere between maybe a BB gun and a Nerf gun. I mean, obviously way more powerful than a Nerf gun, but kind of the
It's like a
same
BB gun and
concept
a Nerf
there,
gun.
and just enough to
Okay.
try to kind of. Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Okay, Desmond, yeah, we're going to have to sign off here on CBS2, but we will continue to follow this pursuit on KCAL 9 and streaming on CBS.
Yeah, I
News
think
Los
this. I
Angeles.
don't think we're
The
gonna
link
lose
shows
it,
next.
but if we do, I'll switch real quick. But I think we're gonna keep watching it. Okay, Desmond. Get your shit together, mate. Got no time for that, mate.
In the meantime, those
Sorry,
of you staying on
Desmond.
the air will be able to watch Jimmy Kimmel Live right now.
You're good and everything, but not today.
All right. Hopefully you have joined
Got
us on
really
our
low
stream.
tolerance for that.
We are continuing our coverage of the pursuit of this, what appears to be a silver Mercedes C230 sedan. A spike strip, Colleen, deployed just a few minutes ago.
Well, two were deployed. In fact, Mark, I think you saw the original one where it looks like the
Shot
right
him with
side
potato
of the car,
gun?
maybe the front passenger and the rear tire were both made contact with that spike strip, but I couldn't see it. And then the second one that was just thrown out just a moment ago, the driver saw and drove around. But we think
There's
the
so many
tires on the
people in
right
this
side
now.
are flat, getting flatter because
It's a
the
Friday night
driving is
chase, man. It's
definitely,
been
when
on
you see this
TV for
driver
like
stop,
45
you have
minutes.
a little bit of problems controlling it right off the line.
Right. Looks like the left side still intact. The left side tire's still intact. So, as far as we know, a little bit about the driver. He's a male, and apparently alone in the vehicle. And he has not really made any effort whatsoever to get away from the police. He is
That's
driving
true.
around in
He's made
circles,
really no effort at all to
and
get
he is
away.
stopping periodically and making shooting gestures at them. And that, combined with the fact that he was reported to have brandished a weapon earlier, is what is making this pursuit continue.
Yeah, and springs, at a moment's, just because the driver is not driving as quickly as we've seen some pursuits, he will stop the vehicle, open the door, start.
All right, I'm tired of these people already.
like
We got to go
what
back. I'm sorry. These people are too much. Trust me on this.
Many of the units they have in this pursuit, and this one has been such a slow one that they're probably just going to continue to go with it until the suspect decides to go up, or decides to give up, or run out of gas, or hopefully they can.
Could be a thing. All right, maybe.
Yep, and
Yeah, maybe he's just warming up.
On the air on KCAL 9 here.
I like that idea. He should get on the highway.
Deploy spike strips. Do we know if there was more than one, Desmond? We know one.
On this channel, they haven't been there as
successful, for
long.
sure.
They're confused. They don't know. They don't know everything we know.
Yeah, we believe that one was successful because there may be an issue with both of the front tires here. That they look to be a little low, and that is the whole idea with the spike strip.
I like
that
the
it doesn't
replays,
just
but don't
rip
show
the
me too
tire
much
to
replay.
shreds. It's designed these spike strips for the spike to actually go inside the fire.
Oh, they got
inside the
slow
tire,
motion on this
and
shit too?
slowly deflate
Oh
the
man, they
tire,
got
and
slow
so that it
motion
doesn't put
replay now?
the suspect in any danger
I've
either.
never
It's just
seen that
eventually They're going to
before.
realize
Fancy.
they're out of air, and then they can feel the kind of the thump of the empty rubber on the asphalt, and hopefully will inspire them to stop, but not always the case. But we're creeping towards downtown Los Angeles. They have less than
They're
lethal
good, yeah.
at the ready as well.
My
They
only
already
issue is when they
discharged at
show
least
the
one
replays
fault
too
pellet from
much.
one of those green guns that we saw earlier with the officer when he was outside of the vehicle.
More
It appears
people.
that
Oh,
may
look
have
at
placed,
everybody's out here.
Lots of people coming out to take a look at this right here as we are eastbound on Washington towards downtown.
Yeah, you can imagine this on a Friday night. It's dark, and you've got a number of police vehicles following this lone Mercedes here with this driver driving relatively slow in this slow parade going down Washington Boulevard. And really for no rhyme or reason. He's certainly stayed in the same area. Desmond, you had mentioned that they've run the plates and assumed that this is not a stolen vehicle, so they possibly know
This is his car.
who the car is registered to. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person behind the wheel is, of course, the person that owns the car. But we can certainly assume that as much. And again, officers are slowly behind this Mercedes, following the driver to who knows where, but right now still staying in the mid-city area. It's interesting, we haven't seen an attempt to get on a freeway, Des.
Yeah, sure, Hannah.
Yep, no freeway at all that we've been aware of at all on this one, Pat. It's been pretty much exclusively surface streets on this.
Hey,
and
Scentless,
it's been,
welcome.
You know, a lot
Good
of the
to
same
see
surface
you.
streets. It was on
Thank
Washington
you for coming
earlier,
through.
then
We've
came
been
up
watching this shit for
Crenshaw
45
towards
minutes.
Venice and was
Have
actually
you
looping
seen any
around
of it
the
yet? Or
LAPD's Wilshire Station
are you
on
just
Venice,
now arriving
Venice
to
near
this?
San Vicente for quite some time now. He's decided to go eastbound on
All right, you
Washington.
guys-
And just the way this is going,
Any
you know,
of the
really slow
degenerates
speeds,
in the
but
chat,
all of these people out here, everyone's
like to
got their
gamble,
phones on. They can hear the helicopters. They
you
can
got your
see the
channel
spotlights.
points.
And apparently,
think this
that
chase is gonna
now we
last
believe
another
that
15
LAPD
minutes?
motor
Does this
unit,
one
the
go for a full
motorcycle
hour?
officer that we saw earlier, was actually in the vicinity trying to hold back
Gamble.
traffic. So you see how many resources get tied up, and the degree that LAPD is willing to go
Chase
to
those
try
points,
to keep
those
the
meaningless
public
points.
safe in this. If they'll have other officers coordinate to hold back traffic,
Yeah, of course
on
I'm
this
streaming.
one, and it just
Dude, what's up?
it's got to be really tough on these officers to when this just goes on and on like this.
This
And
is
we'll
past
see if they
Desmond's
decide to
bedtime
rotate
now, or
some
the end of
officers
his
in and
shift.
out. On this one, they're
Like
probably going to have to call
these
for
chases
a second helicopter if this continues.
don't start
for
past
much longer, but
what is for
as
me
we,
1:30 and what is
head
11:30
towards
in LA.
midnight and the
That's
beginning
when
of
the
the
shift
weekend,
ends for
here we are,
the chopper
eastbound
people.
on Washington, and we'll see what the suspect does when they get into
Well, when they
downtown
start
Los
before
Angeles, if
then,
they're
they'll
just
keep
to
going
continue
much
to stay on the Washington or head for some other
longer
surface streets.
afterwards.
Yeah, and you know, it's
but, you know,
sure
they
that
can't
the
start after
officers
that
have
time.
more information in terms
Gambled
of
7
exactly
KR, I'm proud of you.
why they were in pursuit of this vehicle
think
in the
you're gonna
first
be
place
right.
in terms of this assault with a deadly weapon. Did this person pull a handgun
I don't know
on
exactly what the
someone?
return
Those are
is
some of
when
the
you
things
win
that
on
have
this.
been,
Like, I
you
don't
know,
know how many
rumors that have
X.
been
Like, do
floating,
you get 2X
but,
what
we
you
have
gambled?
not
I don't
been able
know.
to
Is it 1 for
confirm
1?
that.
What is it? I don't
But
know.
it also appears that the officers, we've noticed them on more than several occasions when they get out of they're still behind their vehicles when they get out. Look at this. It's almost,
No
you know,
idea.
I don't want to
Nothing.
be trite, but it almost looks like a funeral procession.
Yeah, it does. It
Desmond.
always
You've
looks
got
like
these
that.
cars lined up on the other side, and here's this one vehicle with
Like,
so
it's
many
so
LAPD
this is
vehicles
just
behind
mind.
it. It's just,
Isn't it
you know,
just
from
so
your shot
silly?
there, it is a spectacle.
Yeah, it's a spectacle, and this is fucking Los
Absolutely.
Angeles for you.
You know, or like a little mini pursuit parade is kind of the way this is going. Just this,
It's
like,
a
big
parade, it's a
tour of Los
procession, it's
Angeles.
all
Okay,
these
here we
things.
are, stopped again. So let's see, out of the vehicle again,
Out
making the
again.
motion. And, okay, that was a quick one.
Whatever.
Just wanted to get out and get right back in
Getting
the
back
vehicle.
in.
And we see, you know, officers, they jump out the second that the second that the tires stop spinning.
And I've
They-
gotten a
they're
lot of
out, they're
chase
ready,
content the
looking
last,
for an
like,
opportunity. Maybe they can shoot a
48
fumble.
hours.
If they can shoot a couple, you know, into this person's chest or
When
in
it
their
rains,
legs or
it
something,
pours
maybe they can
sometimes.
prevent that suspect from driving away. I mean, even though the suspect doesn't have anything in their hands, they have no idea if this person's got something in their waistband or
right.
what. Not likely that they're driving with a weapon in their waistband, but, you know, LAPD takes every precaution with these. And
Wind
if
chills
they
donuts?
get the opportunity, though, to
I never
to
had
use
it. It
that less
sounds
than
great.
lethal, maybe
I
they
want
can
that right now.
bring this to an end sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for. And
You think we're going to see them
like
we haven't seen
long
much of
enough
the tires. They
and,
aren't really zooming in on
you know,
the tires or
officers
giving
can
us
get in
much of a look
position
at the tires.
or to get close enough
You
to
know?
actually strike
would
him,
think that
as
by
you just
now that would
mentioned, at least
be
to, you know, immobilize him where they
critical
can
part of this,
take him into
but
custody, or as you said, where he couldn't
guess not.
get back in the vehicle. I'm trying to, can't see, it's really dark, ascertain if anything's with those front tires that
Good
you
question.
mentioned. I can't really tell from here if they're getting,
Okay.
if they're flat right
She had
now,
to play producer.
which would indicate a
Looks
successful
fine.
Yeah,
spike strip. Hard to say.
it's really hard to very hard to say. I'm starting to think
Looks
that if
the same
it was
as it did
successful,
last
that
time
the,
we saw
the
it
tires
anyway.
would have completely deflated by now, because it has been a long time since that spike possibility that we may not have gotten on camera. We did get that one on camera that was unfortunately not successful. LAPD tried to jump out there when the suspect was out, being aggressive and not looking, and but it unfortunately was able to swerve away at the last second and get away. But just kind of circling back around, now we were northbound on
Won't he-
Western.
why the
and
heck
now
won't he
we
just
are
stop? That's a
back
good question.
east
Why
on, I
won't
believe
he
we're on
just stop?
Olympic right now.
This is ridiculous.
So again, you know, not necessarily driving in circles, but actually,
I guess so. Real time
in the
fan.
same
We
area,
have seen
not making
some
any moves,
really
not getting on a freeway.
impressive instances.
So
Like
no
one time we saw this
indication of
Audi,
obviously what
whatever,
this person is thinking.
that
And
car.
as you had mentioned earlier, we were hoping that
And-
maybe a family member or somebody who knew this person was in contact with them and
Did they
would
just do another
convince them
one?
to stop, as we witnessed last night with the person driving that vehicle. But certainly, last night was a different story in terms
Anyway,
of
this
of the
Audi
want.
one
They weren't
got
wanted
spiked
for
like 5
assault
times
with a
and just
deadly
kept
weapon
going.
or anything that egregious. Just driving recklessly and driving, making donuts on the street, brushing one vehicle. Did make close contact with one vehicle, but not necessarily driving dangerously to put other motorists in danger.
And don't lose him.
Tonight we haven't really seen a lot of dangerous moves on the part of this driver, even though right now he's driving on the wrong side of the street. We've seen that a couple of times, but with the speed that he's going, he hasn't really, put people in imminent danger. Put it that way.
Right. So we did just get some new information from our intrepid assignment desk, who's definitely putting in some overtime right now, about what led up to this assault with a deadly weapon incident. And apparently it happened in the Wilshire division, so kind of in this area that we're in right now. And apparently this person pulled a rifle and a handgun on someone, on a civilian, and that person called 911. They must have had the license plate, or if they knew who that person was.
Shart
It's
was
unclear
asking about that.
what the relation was of that person to this suspect. But now that is why LAPD has every reason to believe that this person is armed. They're very concerned that there are there's guns inside.
That's pretty serious. You pulled
of
2
the
guns
vehicle.
on somebody?
And now I'm starting to wonder if that's what the suspect is doing. Maybe it's a warning. Maybe he's getting out and making these imaginary motions. But if it's his strange way of communicating,
Desmond, you're a little late, man.
then,
We figured
hey,
that out an hour ago.
I've got weapons in here. It's just conjecture, but I'm just kind of trying to connect the dots here, Pat.
Well, of course, and two, if that is what this person is doing, again, that could backfire on him. To sort of indicate that, yeah, I've got some automatic weapons in here, so you better be careful. That does not always work to their advantage, because at some point, LAPD can go as long as they want, but knowing that information, if that's true too, Desmond, then 9 times out of 10, they will follow this person, right? As opposed to waiting for him maybe to go to where he lives and showing up there.
Shart,
if it's
we
something
found
this
out
is,
that
as
he
egregious
pulled
as pulling a
2
gun
guns
on
on
someone,
someone. That's what the
they're gonna be
assault
more likely
with
to
deadly weapon charge is about.
then get this guy.
He pulled
in
a
custody.
small gun and like a rifle. Big
Yeah,
rifle.
I would agree with that sentiment as we are headed back here along
That's why this chase
Olympic
started.
Boulevard. We just crossed Crenshaw not too long ago, and you see we continue.
So
at
in
these
the
low speeds,
massive
but really
spectrum of
serious
assault with a
concern
deadly weapon,
about
this is
what
fairly serious.
This suspect has in the vehicle. We saw that yellow bag that was in the
a little more
passenger
serious
seat
than
right
what we
now.
usually hear
And
about.
I'm sure LAPD is probably just going to make that assumption for their safety. They're just going to assume that those weapons are in this vehicle, and then you've got this guy making these violent motions, getting out, and with almost like pretend, a pretend gun in his hand, and then we saw the weird motions earlier with what looked like he
2
was maybe
guns,
throwing
supposedly.
a grenade or something as well. So it's definitely disturbing behavior from LAPD, and just have to see how much patience they're going to have with this one. And as we come back to that intersection right here with San Vicente, actually I believe we're on Venice right now, so San Vicente and Venice. And again, just hanging out in the same area. So we're going to pass by LAPD's Wilshire station again. This will be about the 5th or 6th time that
Bourbon
the
and
suspect's done
Twizzlers.
that tonight.
And, reading into this, though, Desmond, even if this person does have weapons in his vehicle, officers certainly did take the chance to put that spike strip down when he was out of the vehicle with his back turned. They made that calculation to do that, and that gives you some sense of, yeah, they want this to end.
I think the
And
spike
they're
strips
also
are
taking some
only
chances,
so
too, but then
big.
that's what,
So if you
police
turn
officers
around and
do.
like get
They
a long
obviously
way
are
to look,
gauging
I
the
don't
situation
know.
and figured that they had enough
I don't know
time
what it
maybe to
fucking
throw
looks
that
like
down,
when
just
you're
crossing
driving in
Wimpah,
the car and there's a
to
spike
throw
strip
that
in
spike
front of you.
strip down
But I
while
would
he
think
was out of
that
the vehicle, far enough from the vehicle.
putting
where,
it way out
he
ahead
wouldn't
could
necessarily
also
just jump back
cause
in
them
or
to easily
grab
go around it.
something from the inside of the car. That could be a lethal weapon of some kind. And I'm just talking because looking at where they were, you know, they made that decision to get out of their car.
Yeah,
and
I
lay the
think
spike
Real Time
strip
Fan.
down
I think
while
you're
this
right.
person
Like
was out of the
we've
car,
only
even
really seen
knowing
the ones on
that
this
he
side.
could have those weapons inside
but
the vehicle.
it doesn't really look like
Yeah,
there's any
it's an
issue.
incredibly difficult decision for LAPD to make in that instance, and maybe if they're thinking if for some reason the suspect does pull out a gun, maybe they can jump from behind the vehicle, and these are the really difficult decisions that LAPD has to make in a situation like this. I'm
6
starting to wonder
minutes,
too
let's
if there's
go.
any interest in
I think you're
calling
gonna
the
get
SWAT
it.
department out on
I
this
feel like
one.
another
If-
6
if
minutes is
someone's making
inevitable here.
these kind of I'm getting some more information here that if the suspect gets out of the vehicle again, it sounds like they may be more aggressive with the less than lethal. So let's just see.
Okay,
what
maybe
happens
I
with
was
this one
wrong.
now.
Maybe
Coming
I
to a
spoke
stop
too
again,
soon.
But there's been a lot of times where he's just kind of stopped in the middle of an intersection and kind of creep through.
He is just getting
and
as
this
much
is
attention as possible.
Well,
right?
look at the scene.
awkward
Really
here
milking
with,
this.
with all these civilians.
I was going to say, look at the scene that's created there. There are a lot of vehicles there, a lot of civilians on the streets, in their cars. And as
Welcome.
we've seen
We're
people out
almost an
taking
hour
pictures,
into this one now.
what have you,
It has not
pedestrians,
been
but this is
particularly
certainly
exciting, but
not
it's
something that
been
you see
kinda
every.
interesting. Oh, he's out
There
again.
we
Oh
go. Well,
shit!
he's
Oh
out of the
shit! Oh
car
shit!
again. Let's
Here
see
we
if they're
go.
going to do what you said.
Let's see what's going to happen here.
Uh oh.
Yep.
Uh oh.
I'm just kind of trying to stay a little wide here, see what LAPD's doing.
Yep, they shot
You
him.
see him,
He
you know,
jumped
stepping
back in the car.
He got
now,
back
and
in.
now he's getting back in the vehicle.
Yep. He probably won't make that mistake again.
I noticed some people out on the
Yeah,
street.
we've been going for an
I
hour,
wonder if that
B.
would have anything to do, maybe, with the officers not firing, even less than lethal. If you got other,
They shot him
civilians
right
on
in the
street
gut, and
there,
he was like, "Nope."
that would be close
Got
enough.
back in the car.
Very, very, yeah,
That should
very,
probably
very
hurt.
likely.
Bicyclist
And that's
there?
what's going to make this so difficult. This has gone on so long, and every time I widen out, you're seeing a lot of people here on the street. It doesn't matter.
Dude, he's not gonna
what
get out
street we're
again,
on,
right?
Because this suspect has been in the same area
You wanna see
the
this?
whole time and at a very slow speed has just
What if
created,
they did
you know,
that?
such a circus out here in
That's
mid-city
such a
LA
funny
on a
thing.
Friday
Like, what
night.
if
A lot
they
of
did
people
that?
up late
That's
here,
almost
you know,
too far,
trying
right?
to
Like
kick
that's
off
just
the weekend.
too much
and
making
they
like
see
a
the
show of it.
spotlight and, you know, a lot
I
of
think
these
that's
people,
too far.
they are probably unaware of what this person is wanted for. They're
Yeah,
not,
sure. He is
probably not aware
having
that this
like
person allegedly pulled a gun
more
on
serious mental
someone else,
breakdown
and
than
that those guns may be in this
many
vehicle.
of the
and
other
if they
people
knew
who we
that,
see on
you have to
streams
wonder if
who
they
are
would be
having
that
some
willing to come get
serious
this
mental
close
breakdown,
to
like
this
the guy last
pursuit
night.
just to get some video for social media.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
This is going
But
for
there they
another
are,
hour. All right, man.
Getting close enough.
Maybe. I
And,
like
you know,
that
you would
prediction.
think that if that's the case, that you'd be
I'm
a
down
little
for another
mindful
hour
of
of
this
I
guy
gotta
stopping
get
and
up
getting out of
sometime
the car.
tomorrow.
What
Fuck
if
it, let's do
one
it.
time
I don't know if the news
you don't want to
station is
think
gonna
that
be
way,
down
but he
for an
could
hour.
pull a weapon, especially if we think he already has one in the car, and then that would present a very an awful situation with him firing at police firing back, and then you've got pedestrians running for cover. You know, we've shown a couple of stories tonight, Desmond, where there have been young people
It's 3 a.m.
firing
Yeah,
guns
it's 2
on a
a.m. here,
baseball
but yeah.
field. And is that related? Not necessarily, but then again,
I have
the possibility
in the
of
morning they're
people
coming to replace
shooting
my
guns
windshield,
or
which you guys
firing
who've
weapons.
seen my car
You
when
know,
I'm
that
streaming. My windshield's
is
been
something
cracked for
that
a minute.
I would think would give
So
some
they're
people
replacing that in the
pause,
morning, but
because
I get
you just don't
a
know.
window of 8 to 12. So maybe they'll come at
No,
8.
you just don't
Maybe
know,
they'll come
especially
at,
it just kind of
I
seems
don't
like
know,
in
11.
this
I don't know.
day and age, you know.
And then I got to go to work
I
after
gotta
that.
tell you, Pat, I'm afraid
And I'm
when
trying
I'm
to buy
driving around
Grizzlies
LA to
tickets
even
at
honk
noon
at
or
someone that's
something.
not turning on the green turn lane because you just don't know who you're dealing with these days. And
I got to go to
so
work, but it's like,
why
I don't
it's just
know. I
always
don't
kinda
really have to
surprising
go.
see,
I do have to go.
the folks out here getting so close to a pursuit, having no idea
When I
what
go
the
is not that
circumstances are that led up to this pursuit. We're back on
We're having like
Washington
a Titans
Boulevard,
event, the Titans
headed
draft
eastbound
event
once
tomorrow.
again.
So there's going to be like
we'll see if they're going
few
to make that
thousand
turn
people
on
there.
Western and just complete this huge
I'm not really
square
gonna
that
have
we've
to
been
do
doing,
that.
basically between Washington, Venice, and Western, and I think Crenshaw.
Well, you know what, Desmond? We do have video. We want to split the screen because we want to stay on your live picture. But we have video.
Oh, they're gonna show, dude. They show. Oh my
where
god.
you might be
Canadian
able
lady.
to see him being hit.
We're gonna
with
get
a
it. We're
beanbag.
gonna get it. You called it. We're getting it right
That
now.
would be on your right.
Right now.
Okay.
You fucking called it.
Okay, it's still.
And I've got to imagine, you know, if they were hit, that would be very painful to be hit with a beanbag.
This is
Probably
just,
you
like,
know,
a
left
little
nasty
too far,
welt
in my
at the
opinion.
least. But
But,
apparently
I mean,
not
I'm
so
down
much.
with
I mean,
it, but
I
it's
didn't
like
even
this
see
is
the
just
suspect flinch
making this
in any way. And was
more
able
of
to
a
get back in the
television
vehicle
show
and
than
not
it
having
already
any,
is. You know
any
what I mean?
difficulty driving. So
Like, it
I'm
makes it
not
a little bit
sure
more of, like,
where
a
LAPD would be
dramatic
aiming with that
presentation.
when they're going to shoot a beanbag or a pellet. If they're aiming for the legs to try to prevent him from getting back in
deserved
the
it,
car,
yeah.
if they're aiming for the hands.
I guess
I can't
so.
imagine they're aiming for the head, or maybe just aiming
You saw a drive
for
from
the
Gillette
chest, just
Stadium.
to let
Yeah,
the
dude,
suspect
sure.
know that
It's
they
like,
mean business.
did you
but
drink
it doesn't
when you were
seem
there?
to
Like,
matter to the
I
suspect.
think that's the idea. Is people
No,
are just going to come
especially
and hang out at the
as you
stadium and
said, if
drink.
he got hit and he just continued to drive to get back in the
I don't think
vehicle
anybody
as
really
if
is going to give a fuck, right? It
nothing
can't be very
different than
many
we've
people.
seen from the driving that he's done over the last hour or so. He's still driving rather slowly. Not that he would be impaired in terms of, you know, being injured.
Yeah, I mean,
in
that's
some
what's
way.
going on
We
tomorrow.
haven't
That's why I
noticed
got to be
anything like
there.
that.
People are going to drink.
It's been a little bit. Now, we saw
eat some
him
food.
get out of the car a little while ago, but earlier, wouldn't you say, Desmond, he was doing it more frequently? Haven't seen it as frequent. And maybe
He's
that's
not
because
getting
he
out now
knows,
'cause they
especially
shot
if
him.
they did try to hit him with a beanbag, then he knows that they are going to fire at him.
He's not getting out again. Oh, there's another
Yeah,
spike strip.
quite possibly.
Or no,
You know, maybe
that
not
was just a
wanting to get
regular
out
guy.
and get hit by another one of those painful, less than lethal rounds. If it's
No, I
if it's
did not
foam or
do
if
it
it's a
yet,
beanbag
dude. I
or
did
what
not
the
do
deal
it
is.
yet.
But there we saw just another person on
Or
even
else we
kind of
totally
flashing
would have
their-
filled that in
their
pretty
cell
early
phone
on in
light
this one.
at this driver as well.
Yeah, he'd be a
So,
complete moron
an
to get out
incredibly
now.
frustrating pursuit all the way around, no doubt about it. But at the very least, not driving like we've seen with some of these pursuits, 100 miles an hour, 70 miles an
Yeah.
hour on streets,
Yeah, this has
circling
been
all over
calm,
the place like
slow
that super
speed.
dangerous one that we saw last night. But the flip side, we are dealing with somebody who could very well be
That one
armed,
last night was a
with the gun,
legendary one,
and
man.
they're just out here driving
The
around.
one
and
last
certainly making
night
some
really was
violent
one for
motions
the
towards
ages. It was
LAPD,
really good.
and we continue to make our way towards downtown. But I have a feeling that
You want the
if we just go
missile
a couple more
so the
streets,
canine releases
the
on his
suspect is
nuts
going to
when he
make that
stops.
left-hand turn, just based on what they were doing earlier.
Oh, man.
All right,
Oh,
there's
look at
a
all
lot
these
of
people.
folks out.
Oh, man, getting their
tonight
IG,
watching this guy.
IG live, trying
And
to
as Desmond mentioned, we haven't seen him make any moves to
Get
get
some new
on a
followers.
freeway, even to really pick
It's
up
a
speeds.
relaxing
He's been going
chase.
about the same amount of speeds, maybe ever so slightly. He would gain some speed for a minute, but then quickly slow back down. And Desmond referenced this chase that we watched, and we hope that's not the case here, don't we, Desmond? Where you had to go and refuel, where this driver was on the road for 6 hours before they brought that pursuit to a standoff. We certainly hope that's not going to be the case here tonight, because officers are certainly dealing with something a little different. This guy has some weapons in the car, pulled a weapon on someone. We're
Supposedly
thinking
dude's
that they
got
want
weapons.
this to be over, but they have to be very careful. And with that being said, they can take their time, even though
Thank you,
they
Hannah.
probably don't want to either. They'd rather be doing something else on Friday instead of following this guy, not knowing what he's going to do, or giving him every opportunity to stop. But when he does, he gets out and taunts police, and then gets back in this vehicle and is
and he
still
gets
driving.
shot apparently. So I don't think that's off the that's
Yeah,
no
well, if this is
longer
going to
in
be
his
one of those
playbook.
marathon pursuits, then we're going to have to land at an airport where I can get some coffee, because it's
Yeah.
already getting pretty late. As
He's like,
we,
man, I go
we're now
home.
just
I
at about
usually
midnight.
go
Welcome
home
to,
at this time.
Saturday
He
morning
probably
and the
leaves
weekend
at
here
2 a.m. every day. Or,
eastbound
I mean,
on
sorry,
Washington
my 2
Boulevard.
a.m. there.
And
oh,
yeah, you
12.
always wonder how much
12
longer
p.m.
do these suspects
12
want to continue
Oh, look at this,
going on with
Desmond.
this? No, whoa, look at this guy getting right
What?
up in the grill of
Yo,
that,
replay
car,
that.
getting way too close. And this is the thing, you know, as LAP, if they're going to continue to let this go on, that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Let's talk about that 6-hour pursuit, because that one was going on for so long that you had people coming and parking on the 10 freeway and then getting out and running around near the freeway. They were putting up signs, trying to advertise stuff on the sides of their vehicle and stuff. So the longer this
Look
goes
at him.
on like this, the
He's just
bigger
walking
of a
up there
circus
like
it
he didn't
becomes, and
really
it's
do
just that many more
anything.
factors that LAPD
Maybe
has
he's trying to get a picture or
factor into their
something.
calculations about how they're going to handle this.
And we'll see what they do. They have
In the
they've had
road,
some more
yeah.
opportunities, I would think. As slow as this person is driving, that they could.
And Desmond's right. I
possibly
mean, that
deploy
starts to
another
happen.
spike
These-
strip
the longer
if they
these
wanted
things
to,
go
I
on.
guess.
That
But
happened.
you haven't noticed that happen, Desmond. So you wonder
A lot of people ask to come in.
what
what's your most
will be their next move, and obviously that a lot depends on what
Setting
the
his
next move
DVR
of this
from his
driver is
phone.
going to be as well.
For the next 3 years.
But he's got, you know,
Yeah,
there's a reason he's driving as slow as he's driving.
What is that other audio that you're down here?
Don't you
You
think?
do wonder
Is
about
that
the
on
tires,
on their
definitely.
thing?
If the tires
hear that?
are an issue, they do appear to be low. It's just kind of difficult for us to see if they're.
Oh,
I just I
this?
think that if they
Yeah,
were, well, look, there's a really good look right there.
It was
And
ABC.
you know what? Mike, our awesome assignment desk guy, just made a really good point. I mean, this is a Mercedes, and these could very easily be run-flat
They
tires as
clearly
well.
are.
So those tires, very expensive tires.
Like,
not
these
uncommon,
tires
though,
are
on higher-end
badass.
luxury cars, and if that's the case, they can go on for a very, very long time. And in that instance, you know, the risk that LAPD took to get out there to throw
The
that
gas
spike
prices
strip
finally
could
affected
have been
it.
for nothing.
Had to come eventually.
And he's driving in such slow speeds as
when Pat
well,
Harvey is being bored,
which almost, you know, you wonder, well, why is he doing that? To make sure
yeah, he's trying
you
to
know,
save
he doesn't
fuel.
want
Look at these
police to
guys.
really. Well, look at that pedestrian trying to keep up with the car. Well, that's just how slow he's driving. That person is running and almost caught him. But just in terms of not agitating police to the point where they would start
This is outstanding. Oh, is he? He's not going to get out.
speeding and
He's
get
not
more
gonna get
aggressive
out.
in trying to stop this person
Yeah, man, this
Okay,
is a
we'll
good
see if he's gonna
advertisement
open
for
the door
those
again,
tires.
Desmond.
Stops again.
and get
Shout
out
out
and
to
make more
these
gestures.
run
of
flat
what he's gonna
tires
do.
that this car
Well,
ran over spike strips. Doesn't
So
give
we were
a
just
fuck.
informed LAPD's Metro Division, which includes the SWAT team, is aware of this. They're basically being kept apprised of everything that's going on, but they have not been requested in this one, because that
But,
could be another option. We have seen pursuits that have gone on where they bring in the Bearcat, the big armored vehicle, then they don't need to worry nearly as much about what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
suspect
whatever.
may be armed with, and we've seen them, you know, go and pin a suspect vehicle up against the center divider. A very rare thing.
You would think that they would
hard
start
say
to
that
use
they
more
would do that.
spike
That may have
strips. Like
been
in the
a
past
bit
when
more
we
of
saw
an
that one
aggressive error
car
for
that just
LAPD. It
could
was
take
one
spike
of the
strips
earlier
and
pursuits
the
that,
wheels
I
kept
covered. Actually
going.
covered that one
They
with
tried
you
like
and,
5 or
Paul
6
Majors.
spike strips. They just
It
did
was
one,
one of the first
you know,
chases we
more,
ever did
more,
together.
more.
I'm
They
not
just
sure
kept trying.
If you remember that one with that suspect, there was a lot of similar behavior with
They
that
could do
one.
that
And
here.
eventually, they brought in a Bearcat and
Yep.
slammed the suspect against the center divider on the 405 and brought that one to an end. But I'm not even sure if LAPD is willing to do that anymore.
And talk about the expense. But you know, they have the equipment. They paid for the equipment, but just to get that mobilized, I mean, that's a lot. That's taking up a lot
budget
of
is fucking
resources.
bigger
Which also, you know, as citizens,
Whatever,
you look
the
at this
LAPD
and you think,
budget is
all right, they're
something like
tying
the-
up our
like the
officers
GDP of a small country.
on Friday night for something like this to stop this motorist, and you know they have to do that because of public safety. They want to get this person off the street.
Okay.
But that's when
Yeah,
you feel. That's when I feel bad
it's
for
just always-
officers. I do.
Yeah, I mean, this is a large expenditure for taxpayers, no doubt. And you know, maybe some of these officers are getting some overtime right now, and maybe they're
Alright.
happy to be getting it, or maybe they were about to get off work before this happened, and they just want to be home with their family. But it's just so frustrating all the way around when you have something like this going on, and it's just never an easy decision for officers. We don't think there's going to be any pit maneuvers
This would
happening.
suck to be
if
there,
they were
you
going
know.
to do that, they would have already done so. Spike strips, they've attempted
I
a
know,
couple
right?
of
They
them.
need
Doesn't
how
seem
many
like it
cars,
helped. It
right?
might
Well,
be
they,
on
dude, that's why
run
they just
flat
run in
tires.
massive packs in
There
these
was,
situations.
talk of
I
the
don't know.
less than lethal, but supposedly
It's
the
hard for,
suspect's
it's
already
like
been
they
hit
must
by
have
one
so
of those
many
rounds,
cops that
and
they can
did,
develop. They can devote
deter the
this many
suspect
to
from
this
getting back
one
in
thing.
and driving away. So it's just a kind of what do you do situation here. Might just have to drag this one out.
Yeah, the
as
cops
long as
do
it's gonna
pretty
take.
well
And that's,
financially.
and we haven't even talked about the law enforcement helicopter overhead. I mean, we can tell you that it is not inexpensive to operate
They're still
a
talking about this.
helicopter, and they're probably going to be having to go for
Dude,
fuel. So then you're going to
they're
be
just trying
talking
to
about
make people
another
mad at home,
helicopter
like,
coming to
your
relieve
tax
them
dollars,
while the
this
other guys go back to
motherfucker.
base and get gas, and then you just
Not
really
this guy's
see
fault.
how many resources can be devoted to one of these pursuits.
Yeah, a pursuit like this that is just dragging on and on with a person who clearly, I don't want to say they're out of their mind, but they're not in their right
He's
mind.
out of his
considering
mind.
what they've been doing in with jumping out of the vehicle and taunting officers. They've got to know that it's going to end at some point, and they're not going to get
CM23457,
away.
welcome.
Certainly not driving at
Thank
this
you
speed,
for
Desmond.
coming
Well, we did
through.
just hear. Yeah, we
You
just
ram
heard
into
here,
the car.
and as we
Have them
go
block
through,
'em off.
Oh, look at that!
Somebody
Someone's
threw
just throwing
something.
some at the suspect right there.
What did they throw?
Yeah,
See, they're
looked like
tired of
maybe
it,
a
too.
can or a bottle they just threw.
I shouldn't,
Yeah.
I don't mean to make light of this,
Yeah.
Desmond, but as you say, here it is. It's midnight and it's in their neighborhood. And they've got
Yeah.
choppers overhead. You've got a line of police cars behind a guy, and we did see someone on the corner there throw a bottle or something at this car.
Okay.
Maybe he heard us talking about his tax money going to pay for this pursuit and was a little agitated. Here comes a little
The
I
officer's
don't want to
pulling
call
over
them a
too,
biker
man. That
gang,
is,
but a little group
priorities
of motorcyclists there
of the
stopping
rich.
to make a gesture there. Now we did
Yeah,
just
fuck it,
learn
CM, who
that
cares?
SWAT is being dispatched to this
I'm with you.
situation. So we'll see what all that means if they're going to bring in a Bearcat, and I'm not,
Maybe
now
they
I'm
are
starting
gonna
to
do
wonder,
what
can you
Hannah
do a
said.
pit maneuver with a Bearcat? Perhaps, probably, and then they don't need to worry about getting
Dude, the
shot.
Bearcat
because
takes
every,
6
inch
hours to
of
get
those
there.
vehicles is
The Bearcat
bulletproof.
never shows up
So
in any
we'll just have to see
reasonable
what
amount of
happens
time.
when SWAT gets here. What kind of plan? It'll be very interesting to see.
That'll be a
if
fucking
they can
hour
get here
from now.
before this, before this comes to an end.
And see what kind of reaction they get. I bet he won't get out and
Gino,
start
yeah,
acting like he's
it's
going to
not as
machine
good.
gun
Last
people.
night's was
I don't
so
mean
good.
to laugh like that, but
It was just
you
so
you think about that. Those Bearcats, those are
This one's not
humongous
quite that.
vehicles. So to see that amount
It's
of
been entertaining.
steel coming towards you,
Oh, and the prediction,
I don't
nobody
know.
reminded
Maybe
me, but
this
the
person
outcome
would think
was, yeah.
twice about that.
Take your points.
You would certainly hope so, but it's hard to believe that this person is in a very good state of mind right now. So who knows how far they're willing to take this, but we might get an answer to that question
Canadian
here,
lady wants
and fairly
some.
quickly, because we
Okay, the
understand
return
that the SWAT
ratio is
department is
1
headquartered
to
in the Westlake District, not too
1.83.
far away.
So
from
for
where
every
we are
one you
right
bet,
now,
you get
just about maybe 2 or
1.83
3
back.
miles, and I have to imagine they're going to have the benefit of lights and sirens and not having to wait at all of the annoying
Or you
lights
get
on LA surface streets as they try to get down
2.83
here. So if they want to get down here pretty
back,
quickly,
but you know what
they
I'm saying.
muster up everything they need to. They could get here, probably within 5 or 10 minutes.
So what street are we on now, Desmond?
But the
We're
losers
back on
lose
Venice
more
again, and
points
it
than the
has just
winners
been doing
gain.
that loop.
Like
It's
the
been between
multiplier,
Crenshaw,
like if you
Western,
lose, you
Venice,
lose.
and Washington.
I don't know how that works, but
Okay,
maybe
so
it's
those
just
have
if you
been those
vote.
are the
I don't
major
know. I don't understand.
thoroughfares that
I'm
this
high.
driver
Leave me alone.
has been on the whole time, the whole night, which
Got
again,
12.8K
makes you-
back. All right, not bad.
the ability or them wanting to put more spike strips down, or if they just want to get this over with too and bring in SWAT and
Well, everyone
to
wants to
end
get it over with, but if he keeps driving, then you got a problem.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, if this person has a full tank of gas and they don't bring in SWAT and this person just
Hey, we
keeps
got
doing
it.
this could go on until sunup, and nobody
We
wants
got
to
it.
see that. Certainly not, the LAPD officers that are having to be behind this, because we have to remember they're not just driving behind this suspect. They're also calling out the radio. They're keeping track of all of the surface streets that the suspect is on, radioing that to other officers. This is tying up one of the LAPD communication frequencies
Nice,
as
1.8K.
well.
Sweet.
So it just kind of
I'm proud of
brings
you
that
guys.
back around to everything that goes into something like
Been
this,
an
all because
hour,
one person
almost
does
15
not
minutes.
want
I don't even
to
have
surrender
default buttons
after,
on the Stream Deck for that. I'd have to do it
being-
manually.
trying to take someone into custody for an alleged felony.
And interesting, too, haven't seen him stop lately and get out of the car. It's been a little while before he's actually made those kinds of maneuvers again. And
wonder
he may
why.
think twice about doing that, because not long ago we saw a person on the street throw a bottle at this car. So maybe that's making this driver think twice
You
about
cleared your
getting out
calendar.
and,
All right, good.
making some moves or motions
Locals
as he's
should
been
be
doing
filling his
all night.
tank.
Well, since we've been on this
Hell yes.
pursuit.
Yeah, and that actually brought back
That's a
memories.
great
I mean,
idea.
just kind of since we seem to kind of have some time right now, Pat, of another one of those pursuits where it was a slow speed affair in the San Fernando Valley. Somebody wouldn't stop, and you had all kinds of people getting involved, coming up and getting right up next to the suspect, or coming out and running up next
This
to the
is gonna
window
be
and
one of
banging on
those
the
ones.
windows, even getting in front of the hood of the vehicle. And that is the kind of thing that LAPD has to think about as well. So it might just be a good idea if they can bring SWAT in and bring this to an end, and all of these people can go on with their Friday nights and not be in harm's way with this person. Then that's probably going to be the thing to do. Now, look at the vehicle listing a little bit. It looks
You
like
were
the
like, I won't
passenger
be sucked in.
side front tire, so the front right
Yeah,
tire
you know how it is.
completely dead. Even if these are run flats, it looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
you can
he's
start to see
wobbling.
the car right now.
Okay, yeah, it is starting to get
really,
wobbly.
Yeah, wobbling, really beginning to struggle. So
Okay, which wheel is it?
Not the driver's side, but the passenger side. When
Okay,
we have
it's
an
the ones on
opportunity,
the
we'll
other
come
side.
around and show you that. But
Yeah, we
we'll
need
see
to
how
get over
the
there.
suspect decides to react to that factor as well.
Well, he's slowing down even more, and yep, he's wobbling.
He's
even
wobbling.
Then. Wonder if he's going to stop
We're
completely.
75 minutes into this chase, and he's wobbling.
Is he next to another? Yeah, he's really slowed down there.
There's a who's that?
yeah.
That
Look at
person's
this
just
guy,
going to
he's
their
just
car
ignoring him.
casually.
Somebody who's not even
Totally
He's-
casually,
I don't
just
think
going
he's
to your
trying to get
car in the middle of
involved.
this,
Just
dude.
bad
Really?
Getting in
coincidence
his
that they
car.
happen to
Really?
be here at this time.
But look at the other people. there.
Really?
Yeah, I think we have a stringer down there who's trying to get some.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
stringer too.
taking some
Yeah,
video, and the
video.
other
He's
people,
fine.
they're,
right down
residents.
here, but here's
And he's
but
just
here's a
stopped.
couple other
These
vehicles
guys
that
are
are
just leaving. They're like, all right.
right there in harm's way, and
Well, they could drive away.
I'm wondering if LAPD is probably saying over the loudspeaker to get out of the
Yeah,
way.
it's got to be. This has got to be a fucking show on the ground.
Well,
right
the other
now.
vehicle hasn't
So
moved yet, but
loud.
he just really nonchalantly walked out and got in his car.
Yeah,
as
that
if he
guy
didn't
just
even
so
see this
calmly
guy.
got in his car
Now
in
the
front of all
driver
these
is
cops.
Taking
Too
off
low on
again.
gas? We don't know.
Wobbling still, Desmond. I could tell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The car
definitely,
is definitely.
and just because they've lost the
Oh.
rubber on
Get
that
over
side
there.
of the tire doesn't mean that this is suddenly going to end. We've had
Get over
pursuits
there.
where they get going on one of those rims, and they can go for a very long time, even without rubber on both of the front wheels. So it just depends, especially at low speeds. If they were going at really high speeds and they just lost one of those tires, then you're going to have a lot of friction, and you're going
More
to get
stringers.
metal on asphalt, and then things might start overheating, or then that wheel can fall off. But when they're going
I hope
so
he can
at
go
such
to the
a
gas station.
leisurely pace as we've been seeing with this suspect, these can drag out, as we know, for a very, very long time.
And that looks like that's what this driver is prepared to do, unless he just happens to stop and pull over and gets out with his hands up. But we haven't seen that for an hour and a half. Or I should say an hour, because we
Wobble
started
not
this in
good,
the
yeah.
11 o'clock hour, and here we are past midnight. And the driver is still
We
going,
need
but the
some
car
rims like
seems
these.
to be.
These tires have been. Oh, somebody just threw that
What
shit
was
at
that,
him.
Desmond? Something. Did
Oh,
he throw something
man.
out of the car?
You know what? I looked away there just for 1 second there, Pat. I was apologize. I didn't see anything coming out the window on that one, but
Think Pat needs a
just
Snickers?
noticing the condition. Okay, yeah. Apparently somebody was throwing bottles at him. That's what the police
Yeah.
are saying over the radio.
They're
is
throwing
still.
bottles
that,
out there.
and so this might still be the second. Now this is
Yeah,
the
LA
second
has
person
live
that
news broadcast.
is, throwing bottles, and it's just so crazy to see how different people come out and want to get involved in this in one way or another. If they're taking video is already
She's been there for 30
one thing,
years.
but then you got other people that come out and throwing cans or bottles at someone that's wanted for assault with a deadly weapon that might have a gun in the car. It's just really not a wise thing to do, obviously, but a lot of folks probably have no idea all of the details that are going on with this story. But here we go again, getting ready to make a turn down once again. So we're coming back over to Washington Boulevard as the
Love My Toe,
pursuit
welcome.
parade or whatever you want to call it. It continues, and let's just hope that
We
SWAT
are
gets here
80
shortly.
minutes
Yeah,
into
'cause it
this
certainly
chase,
looks like a
and it's
pursuit
looked basically
parade,
exactly the
as
same
you
the whole
mentioned,
time.
Desmond. Same, just really low speeds here. But have to point out again that, what is this? Oh, he's just making another, just a little
Wow.
move, a maneuver of some kind there. No rhyme or reason.
They see me rolling.
But notice that this person hasn't gotten out of the car in quite some time, which is something that we were seeing quite frequently at one point. But they seem to be remain in the vehicle and just continuing to drive around the same area. And officers are
And maybe just
methodically following
maybe just
him.
running out the clock, Pat.
Yeah.
The clock?
Maybe just thinking, this is what a lot of these suspects do when they know it's going to end with them going to jail. If maybe they're just listening to their favorite radio station right now, or
Just
whatever
trying to
or maybe they're enjoying the
live it
attention
up.
that they're getting. Anything could
Maybe
be
he's
going
calling
on
his
in that vehicle
family.
right now, but this may be the last time for quite some time.
I gotta
that
run to the
this
bathroom.
Suspect is
I'll
going to
be
get to
back.
drive a Mercedes, and maybe knowing that they're just like, well, I'm just going to cruise. We'll see how long LAPD is going to let me do this, and I'm just going to keep going and just kind of zone out. And that appears to be what we're dealing with the suspect.
You said that right, zone out. I mean, if he could put this thing on on cruise control, he probably would do so, because there's certainly, it's almost like, what is it, 10 miles an hour or something? The rate that this, of speed that this driver is. Uh-oh, Desmond, did he hear? He picked up.
It was. Yeah, he must have heard you, Pat. Yeah, I must have heard you talking about how slow he was going, and then he just tapped on the gas pedal. But, he's got one bad tire, so we'll see what that does. And then he's coming back up to that area where, just based on what he's been doing earlier, he's probably going to make that turn again on Western. We just crossed Victoria, I believe, right there. So we'll be coming back towards Western. We'll see if they make that left turn, but then kind of just easing off the gas pedal once again, kind of going back into cruising mode. And here's LAPD just back here, probably gritting their teeth that this continues to go. Now we're hearing that the LAPD now saying that we'll see if we can come around to the passenger side of the vehicle here if we're able to maneuver there. Give my excellent pilot Chris, who's had a lot of patience with this, is doing a really great job staying on this. We're going to try to maneuver and get to the other side and show you that apparently the rubber has completely left the wheel of that front the passenger side, the front right side.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what that looks like. And
Oh, you
actually,
can see it,
still see a little bit
Desmond.
of rubber there flapping. Yep, it's flapping there.
Oh, they're gonna
It's
lose the
probably gonna
tire.
fall off pretty quickly.
All right.
And then
We're gonna get this on the
metal
bingo card
asphalt.
too.
We'll see if
We're
we
adding on.
start to see any spikes begin to spark up, and We'll see. You know, I
Wow.
don't think we've ever seen a Mercedes with wheel on asphalt. We've seen trucks, we've seen little Toyotas, we've seen minivans. I don't think we've ever seen.
I thought
a
both of them were
Mercedes
bad too,
C-Class
but
here
it doesn't look
with,
like it.
with metal on asphalt here as the rubber falls off. We'll see how much longer the rubber can withstand this. It's kind of funny to see the tire just kind of
Yeah, the
flailing
police.
around
That
here,
was
but
hilarious, Gina.
not deterring this suspect, that's for sure.
No. Well, last night it was the bumper that became detached that they dragged around for forever, doing donuts and drying it.
What did I miss? You guys said I left at an important time. What
Right
did I
now.
miss?
But yeah, it's almost
tire
painful to
coming
watch
off?
that tire, Desmond, because it's going to be toast in just a minute here. But as you again, doesn't seem
Oh,
to
he
affect
sped
this-
up.
the
Okay.
driver. He's still driving.
Yep, still
Still driving.
continuing here at a real snail's pace. I mean, barely even on the gas pedal, almost just above, kind of idling forward at this point. And you know, I don't think these are cheap rims either that the suspect is about to ruin right now. Obviously, not the biggest concern for this person right now, but you know, if
He
and when
went
they
over
do
10.
get out of jail, he's probably going to need a new rim on this Mercedes as well.
Yeah, I would guess so. Desmond, should we say hope you have insurance? But I don't know. You know, would you do that to your vehicle
out.
What are you
anyway?
doing?
Now,
Zoom
is he
out.
going?
Zoom
Oh, I
out.
thought he was going into a parking
Jesus.
lot.
He is
Well,
going
he
into
is.
a parking lot.
Yeah, into the parking lot there. Apologize for that maneuver. And going into a parking lot, so first time to see maybe just kind of cutting back around this traffic, as I suspect probably didn't want to be at a stop. But, and again, now we see the LAPD officers kind of wrapping around the parking lot on
Maybe
this
we'll
one. And,
eventually
you know,
see
everyone at the
the
stoplight has just got to be like,
tire
what is
roll
going
away.
on?
Of course.
You know, what is it? What is
Right.
the spotlight overhead me right now as we make our way back out, and just a gingerly non-compliant
You
cruise.
took a nap?
Late night here
didn't miss
in
a
Los
lot.
Angeles with this assault with a deadly weapon suspect.
I guess they found the
Oh,
dude
Des, you
passed
said
out blocking
absolutely
traffic,
right.
and
A
they saw
late-night
weapons
cruise.
and drugs in the
You know,
car.
and he's cruising by
No
himself.
way.
It's not like he's
That's interesting.
he's not impressing passenger.
Oh, hey guys, when I say anything about
Since
the
we're talking
camera
about
or like tell
cruising
them
in
what
Los
to do,
Angeles, no, he's in
you
the
gotta
car
do
by
this for me.
himself, just
Do
leading
that.
police on this parade
I'm
that
asking this very little
seemed to
thing.
go on forever, and not exactly sure
It'll be
when
fun,
this
I
is going
promise.
to end. Has that tire come off yet, Desmond, or is it still somewhat
I believe
attached?
so. I believe the tire did finally come off. When we get
Okay,
the
we're
opportunity
adding
to go
that
to
to
the
the
other side,
bingo
we
card.
will again. But yeah,
You've
you know,
got
Pat, there was a time when this
9
was the thing
things
to do
filled
on a
in.
Friday night in Los Angeles was to go out cruising. And
Yeah.
I don't know if the suspect is from a different era or
From
what
a
the deal
different
is.
era.
Maybe reliving his teenage years when cruising was much more of a phenomenon.
Think he's
I mean,
reliving
who
he's
knows,
just
but,
cruising?
just
The
continuing
cruising
on these
phenomenon?
streets. As we come back around, we'll check on that
What?
tire. I think I still see a little bit of the rubber there. So
Yeah, it's still
No,
going.
it's-
I don't
just
know, dude.
amazing
Does
how
it count as
long
toss object? I
these-
thought the
these,
same thing.
these
He
tires
didn't
can-
actually lose the tire. That
can
was
hold
fake
on.
news.
when they're
Okay.
flat and driving on notorious LA streets.
And can you imagine the noise? You know,
Oh
from,
yeah, it's
from
a,
the
it's a
tire.
horrible noise.
You know, not
Thank you,
just even from
real-time
the
film.
tire, but from you know the officers.
And if you guys have any
behind, the
ideas for
choppers,
other
and it's
ones
just,
that we
here
can
this
do
guy
for
is just
chase-related stuff, not
listlessly
just something
driving
I say or something I do, but for something
around
that happens in the
and
chase,
around,
I think that would be fun too.
and that tire is still going. I mean, that now has become the focus of our attention, just because of how long it's still on the vehicle. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how does it continue to stay on the rim right here? It's kind
If we
of
get the shirtless and the
a
stationary
minor
object,
miracle that the rubber hasn't completely separated. I'm just going to be really curious to see what the suspect does once
which that's
that
very possible.
rubber
Well, he
does
hasn't hit a
inevitably fall
stationary
off.
object,
And,
right? He hasn't really hit
wondering
anything.
where the SWAT team is at this point now.
Yeah.
Just
SWAT
because they were
team
called
never
for, and we
shows
understood
up
that when they said they were
quickly.
on the way, that doesn't
Oh,
mean that
Orange
they just hop
Bear.
in the truck and they speed down here. They have to
Welcome.
go through a checklist with all of their equipment. You know, they've got to make sure that all of the officers
Yeah,
have
the
helmets.
the SWAT
that everyone
team
has a
people take
shield,
fucking
that they're
forever.
armed properly, that the tires are
They gotta
you know,
check
all
their,
good to go
make sure
on
they look
that,
good,
on
and
that
they
big
got all
vehicle,
their stuff.
those big beefy tires that you see on the Bearcats.
It's going too slow
I'm
for
sure
a
there's a very
stationary
lengthy
object.
checklist that they have to go through before they dispatch.
Yeah,
so
if
even
you
though they
hit
have been
something, you might
dispatched, and that was maybe
just
15 or so minutes ago,
stop.
maybe 20 minutes ago that we heard that. Still no sign of the SWAT team inbound.
Yeah, he's going just so slow. He's not gonna like.
All right, so no sign of the
control
SWAT
and hit
team.
something.
That would almost be sort of like a relief at this point if we actually knew that they were, you know, in the vicinity or even close by, but not the case. So they're still behind
They don't
this
rush
car,
to the cars.
and we haven't
move
seen
out.
any other moves by LAPD in terms of throwing any
Yeah,
more spike
Gina,
strips down.
a lot of times
They've just
it
been
happens
following,
so long
close
after
behind
whatever we watch
this vehicle
that I don't even
and,
see it. You know, like
driver
that could happen 4
continues
hours from now.
to follow
Like the Bearcat, every
this
time
route
I
in
hear
the
about it when
mid-Wilshire
we're
area.
at the end of a chase, it's like the news is gone
On
and
on.
left,
Yeah,
and
no other
they're on
spike
something
attempts
else by the
that-
time the
that-
Bearcat
that
shows
we've
up.
seen. I think they're just content to follow this and then let the SWAT team handle this
Yeah,
once
well,
they
you're right, man. All that
get
other stuff can
inbound,
wait.
and just you know, really hoping
Wobbly
that they
tire
are going to
guy.
be here shortly. It's been about
He's top
20
priority.
or so minutes. We'll just widen out and show you how many units we have involved in this little
Look at
pursuit
that
parade. 1,
shit.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wow.
7 units, and then those are just the ones that are following.
Yeah, we got to get
this
closer
vehicle.
on
You
this.
got
I
the
agree,
helicopter
Gina.
overhead. You've got units
I hate
all
when we
over the
don't.
perimeter that are off of this.
I'm just
major
shocked at
street
how
right
much
now
chase
in
content
some of
I've got in the
smaller
last few
areas,
days.
just kind of keeping apprised
is
of all this
really-
as well. So it's not
to
just
say
7
it's
officers. I mean,
unusual
and there's
is
probably
kind of an
2 officers per
understatement.
car. So you've got 14 officers there, and then you've got 2 officers in the helicopter. So a minimum of 16 LAPD officers basically just on camera, and not counting all of the other ones that may be involved in this on the periphery as well.
And these have you seen any change up in terms of the cars, in terms of officers? I know sometimes when these pursuits last a while, they may.
Oh, stationary
Okay,
object?
I-
No.
Oh,
Wait, he hit
there
the
was
spike
another
strip
spike
again.
attempt right there. So, yeah, there was another one. And it almost looked like it kind of, well, I think if it caught anything, it might have just caught
I think it caught the back tire on the.
the tire that was already flat.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I think he kind of ran over it with the same
didn't
thing.
look like it hit
And yeah, that's
any of
that.
the
They
other
finally did
spikes.
another
We'll listen
spike
for
strip. I
radio
thought that
traffic
was
and see
probably
if they say
a
good
smart
spike.
thing to do.
Well, this is the first that we've seen here. Now making this northbound turn, kind of deviating from the streets that the
Come
suspect
on,
had been
man.
on previously. So now we're kind of headed, I believe, towards the Hollywood area or the
I wish there
mid-Wilshire
was some
area.
way
And we'll see where this
that
leads us.
on my stream or on the television coverage
Okay.
of this, if
I-
you
I
want to take
almost
this to
thought
like
at
another
first that he was
level
trying to
of
go around
having
it, which looks like
have
he
it
did.
be like a sport,
But it looks like part of it may have
you
struck.
would make the spike strip always
Does that
be
matter if
like
you have a
lit up,
partial,
like
you know,
like the
for it to be
like
successful.
where the first down lines are on like a football field.
It's
need
hard
That's
to
what
say. I
the
think
spike
you
strip
just
would
need
be
one of
like
those
that.
spikes
They'd
to
throw it
get
out
in
and
there
you would
because
like
those
see
spikes
it
will detach. There's
glowing
someone
on the
else throwing
ground.
stuff at this right now. It looks like a group of maybe teenagers or something.
Yeah, I
and
know,
one of them
Gina. I
just
want to see
threw
their
a
live
bottle.
streams.
So
We
now
need that
this
combined
is the
with
third
this.
projectile that's been thrown at the suspect as
You're gonna
well.
use
So
the spike
I
strip
think you
to
really
rip
only
off the
need one
wobbly
spike
tire.
to get in there and mess with the tire. And I don't think any more than
Whoa,
2 or 3
whoa,
going,
whoa.
More bottles right there. This kid could break one of these guys' windows, and I just wonder when LAPD gets really tired of this and says, "Come on, SWAT, let's get this going. Get down here.
Like,
we gotta
yeah,
bring
they're
this to
just
an
gonna
end.
let
We've got
people- I
out
mean,
here. They're getting
are
rowdy.
those guys
They're
gonna
throwing
get in
bottles at
trouble?
someone that we think might have a gun in the car.
That
We've
was
got
intense.
to shut this
You know, we
down.
don't usually see
it's just
anything like
getting
that.
ridiculous at this point as we're northbound on La Brea, but
Yeah, the
not the
community
case.
will
No
turn
word
on
about,
you
SWAT's
if
imminent
it
arrival.
like if
And
it's
you
nighttime like
made a
this.
good point
It's
there, too,
midnight, and this
Desmond. I
guy's
mean, who
riding
knows?
around
He
just
makes a
bringing a
turn
fucking
again and runs
circus.
into
Nobody
more
in this neighborhood can
pedestrians
sleep.
and,
I'd
you
be
know,
mad
anything
too.
could happen. There's one right there. Possibly,
They're gonna
well,
get
there's
busted.
several.
Yeah, I think you're
Maybe
probably
taking
right.
pictures or just standing outside to see what the commotion is all about. all the lights and
Yeah, the community's tired
again,
of his
you know,
shit.
those tires.
There's a
I'm trying to
million-
see on the
million
driver's
stringers out here.
side. I can't really
The
tell. I
whole
thought I may have
the whole
seen a tire.
stringer
That tire being
industry,
a little
the whole
damaged, but
stringer industrial
it's too dark.
complex is
It
on
seems
this one
like
tonight.
the front left tire is flat.
How much for
but it's not,
tomatoes?
you know, falling
man.
apart, or it looks
If
like it's
somebody
at least
threw one of those,
low.
we wouldn't
And
know.
that was
but
what
that
made us
sounds
wonder
amazing.
if these are run flat tires on this one as we just kind of creep along. And
Yeah, that's
you know,
true,
obviously
Stacey.
this is a suspect who's very
This
agitated.
is
certainly
interrupting
based
all
on
kinds of
their behavior.
business.
Someone that is alleged to have pulled a gun on someone else, and just because the suspect's barely moving
The
along
cops
now
probably like the
doesn't
help,
mean
baby.
that they might not just slam on the gas pedal
really
at
might
any
help.
second. We have no idea the mental state of.
Hey, do
of-
you guys
of-
think
of
those
the
guys
person.
were
I
like?
mean,
Do they
if you-
follow?
heard you.
in my
Are
book,
they
anyone
like?
who gets out
I don't know. It's a
and
real
makes the kind of
stretch, but
motions, and
on the
LAPD
card
that
we
this
have Good
suspect was
Samaritan
earlier is
because
probably
every once in a
pretty
while
troubled
it's
mental
possible
state
that a lot
right
of you
now,
have
but
never seen it,
lurching along,
but
stopping, lurching
someone
along,
will
stopping,
get involved and try to
a
end
lot
the
of
chase.
very uncomfortable
Who's
parallels
not a
with
police
that,
officer.
that 6-hour pursuit that I
And
covered
that's
a couple of
generally
years
what
ago,
it's
Pat.
for.
Yeah, there's no
but
question about that. And
I
we
don't
look
know.
at there's traffic on, well, certainly on the other side. We just saw a car turn into, is that a, yeah,
Is
there's
it
some
over?
businesses still open.
Yeah, fast
It's
food
pretty
up there.
busy. Yeah.
We're on
it's-
La Brea. Yeah, La Brea near Venice is where we're at.
Okay, well, I
This
know where
might
that
be
is.
it.
So yeah, there are quite a few fast food places over there.
Oh,
I thought he was going to get out.
There you go.
There, yeah, he's making his
gun
rush
gestures
again.
again.
does the car still move?
Uh-huh. That's the first we've seen in a while.
Yeah, but you notice he didn't get out of the vehicle, did he?
Yeah, it moves. Okay.
No,
So
I
it's
don't
still
think
got
he
all
wanted
its
to put
tires even.
his face or his chest in
Mm-hmm.
harm's way of the beanbag. I have to imagine that was pretty painful. And, you know, you just wish, I mean, I don't want to play armchair police officer, but you just wish there could have been an officer who was, you know, really close by with a spike strip and could have come and thrown one in and gotten
spike
you
strip.
know,
What
a
do
really
we
good
think?
spike
What
on
what is
all four
what?
tires.
What do we think these spike strips are gonna do at this point?
It
How
looks
do we
like
not
they're
have a
closing-
bingo by
might be
now? I
closing down
just
the
didn't. Like,
intersection,
it didn't
and
line up
all
for us
kinds
tonight.
of people now coming out to take a look at this, especially now that the suspect is stopped, and you know people kind of starting to swarm the area.
Yeah, this is getting
as,
weird.
As they are completely stopped.
How are the
Just pointing out,
cops
showing
gonna
you the-
form a
and
perimeter
there
on
is
this
an
if
officer
this
there
is the
on
spot?
the north
if this
side
is
of
the
La Brea,
end.
the north side of the intersection there, shutting
Take
that
his
down,
shirt off and
blocking
hit something,
southbound
yeah.
traffic. And LAPD hates this. They hate all of
course
these
they
people
hate
coming
this.
out
Yeah.
and
This is a
getting
nightmare.
involved in this, getting very,
try to
very
control.
close. It's already a very difficult situation for them as it is, without a lot of people coming and getting
Okay, he's still
extremely close
going.
to this.
And someone else threw something at that car.
Of course they did.
It looked
Yeah,
like
so
a.
that's like the fifth or sixth thing.
And,
Sure, they
you know,
do
as you
in
were
a
talking
lot of
about
them.
earlier,
Like,
if
we've
they
seen
knew
it
that this guy
happen,
was
sorta,
possibly
not like-
armed, you know,
we've seen it
you've
happen.
seen people that I was going to point out that gentleman in the white shirt there. He was very close. He was standing outside his vehicle close enough.
Like, if you got OnStar
To
in the
this,
vehicle,
to this
they can
driver,
shut that
and,
shit down. They somehow
considering
get access to that kind of
How
thing.
agitated this
But
guy
I
can
do
be
think
and
that every
what
time
he
I see
possibly
that,
has
I
inside
think
that
that
car,
same
that
thing that
was
you're thinking,
pretty
Chart, and I'm like,
dangerous.
yo, that's gonna kill
So
all
now
my
that
content.
they shut down
Yep.
the intersection,
If they can do that. Same thing as when I saw that thing
He's
in
making
Phoenix
a
today. It was like,
U-turn
oh shit,
and
if they
headed-
do this every time,
Headed
there
back
won't
south
be
on La
chases
Brea,
anymore.
and look at this tire. I mean, look at the rubber just continue to hold on, even in that turn. It just hanging on for
90-minute
dear
chase,
life,
KO.
on this one. It really is
Welcome.
an amazing thing to see. I mean, we've all had flat tires, and you
We've
don't
all
want
had
to damage
flat
your rim, and you
tires.
pull over the second that you get to do that, and it's just kind of crazy to watch these suspects get out and push these cars as hard as they can go and drive with bad
Oh,
tires. Whoa, what is he doing here?
see, that's the guy I was
Okay,
talking
this
about,
is-
Desmond.
Wait,
oh,
wait,
he's
wait,
kicking the
Yeah.
car.
And he just kicked the car. Yeah.
Man, you guys are fucking
and
terrible with
again,
these
in
graphics on the
LAPD,
screen.
how long
We
are you
missed
going
the
to
guy
allow
kicking
this
the car.
to go on? I mean, you can't
missed
control
it.
all of the people that are coming out and getting involved in this. And look at, now these people
Stupid
trying
ass
to
graphic
agitate
on the screen,
the
man. You gotta take
agitated
that shit off of
suspect.
there.
It's just
Oh,
crazy
he
throwing
threw
stuff
shit now.
again.
Oh,
Here.
dear.
And
Now he's
yeah,
hanging out the.
this
is
is
he?
just like
Oh, I thought he was hanging out the
ahead.
driver's side.
It's not doing shit.
No, I think it's just a reflection of the mirror there.
Yeah.
Might be seeing, but This looks a lot. This is really starting to
Thank
look a
you,
lot
Canadian
like.
lady.
Oh, look at this,
Look
Desmond.
at all of these people out
Oh,
here.
what?
So many. I mean, talk
What?
about a spectacle. And a lot, very, very similar to that chase I was referencing earlier on Ventura Boulevard that folks that watch these pursuits will definitely remember that one, where you have people coming and getting involved and doing that exact thing, coming up and kicking the vehicle.
This
And,
is
you know, the suspect doesn't care. Just zoning out, just idling along with one bad tire, and LAPD just, it's crazy.
Okay, now
It
we're
is
gonna get to
crazy.
see him kick it. Okay,
There's a
there it is.
motorcycle
Sorta,
officer.
sorta saw it.
I'm really surprised
Okay.
they haven't shut this down. When I say shut it down, I mean, I know they closed off an intersection, but with all these people
Dude,
following,
in
and they're
all
not gonna
reality,
stop.
they
Doesn't
could
look
probably
like
just use basically any
getting
type
ahead
of
of
way
it.
to
I mean,
end
they
this and
basically
get the
gone
guy out of
to-
the car. And nothing
You know,
bad
if we
would
thought it
happen.
was we
But
thought it was a parade before. Now
they
it's
don't
you
know
really
that for
turning
sure.
into a parade. But it's, I mean, I don't want to make light of it, but look at all of these people getting right up.
Yeah,
in this. And
Stacey,
Pat,
they
we just
usually,
got
I mean,
some
they don't
disturbing
start a
new
chase
info on
anytime
this. I'm not
after
sure if this
11:30,
incident
but this
happened
one
tonight,
started
but
at 11,
apparently
and they're
we're
still
now
just
learning
rolling.
that the suspect pointed a rifle and a handgun at someone inside
Some
a
of the other
tent,
news stations
and
left, though.
LAPD believes
These
that
guys
the
were late.
rifle is in the trunk. And okay, and it did happen tonight. That's what we're now being told. The rifle, they believe, is in the trunk, and they do believe that the handgun is in the waistband of that suspect. So the suspect was getting out and
No
making all
way.
those violent motions, and
I don't
LAPD
believe that.
believes that he actually had a gun on him at the time.
Definitely
So,
don't believe that.
really amazing restraint by LAPD.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
not true.
Situation.
That's
and
not true.
You've got someone with possibly 2 weapons in the vehicle.
He did not have a
All
gun
of
in
these
his
people
fucking
Are
waistband.
just coming if they're not aware of what's going on. Obviously, they haven't been
Man,
watching
look at all
our
this
live
stuff
stream.
flying.
They've just been going on.
Yeah, Gina,
seeing
that just
the
doesn't add up.
helicopter overhead
And the way he
and
was
LAPD
moving
and
around didn't
whatever they
really
may be
look
shouting
like
on the
that
loudspeaker,
was maybe
but
the
it's
case.
a
Like, you could
very,
see him pretty well.
just,
If he had
disturbing
that, they
set of
would have.
information that we're hearing from
I think
LAPD.
they'd be handling
That
this a
is
little
disturbing.
differently.
Now,
I
you
don't
said
think
they
that they would have let
pointed it
themselves so
at a tent,
exposed.
like
Even
a
though they're
homeless
hiding behind their
person,
cars,
someone
I'm just
in an
saying they weren't.
encampment?
They weren't
That's
really
what it sounds like.
treating it like they
Yeah,
were about to be in a
That's what it
shootout.
sounds like. Is if maybe someone living.
Oh, look at all
house
this
person
stuff.
There, another
Oh,
object
this is
getting thrown,
absurd.
at the suspect. Let's take this opportunity to peek inside and see what the driver's doing. Not really
I
seeing
know,
any movements,
man.
but all of these people
look
just
at
right up,
this.
kicking
Oh,
it
are you
again,
kidding?
kicking it again.
Are you
This is
kidding? Dude,
just-
you guys are gonna get hurt.
There's no way that these people know that he might have a handgun in his waistband.
They might
right
know that.
now, or they would not be doing this. I mean, and is it for social media? Is one of your friends filming this while
For
you go up
sure.
and
For
kick the
sure. Of
vehicle
course
so
it's
that
the
you can go get some
content.
likes on Twitter or on Instagram or on TikTok? You know,
Yes,
make a cute little
Desmond.
video, haha, LOL. Is
Looks
that
like he's
what
reaching
you're
for
trying to
something
do?
now, though,
It's
doesn't it?
just
No,
just
doesn't it?
outrageous.
No,
he's
you
just
don't know what
raging in there.
people are. You know, they put everything on social
Are they
media.
trying to get arrested? That's
Des,
a
and
good
you
question. Like,
mentioned
really,
that,
are
the
they
likes
trying to get
and,
arrested?
You know, hate to say
He's
it, but
doing this
some people
right in
live for
front
that
of the
stuff.
fucking
And
cops.
Look at this. I mean,
People
this is
kicking
real
probably have guns,
life
too.
drama on the streets of Los
That's
Angeles
true.
on almost Saturday morning here.
Hey, I understand.
You know what
need
I'm
the
really
likes. You
concerned
got.
about
I
is,
mean,
Des,
look
what
at
if,
me.
you know, who knows
make
this
content out of this all the
crowd
time.
could just rush this car. And then what? I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Actually, we were talking
absolutely.
about his state of mind. I'm surprised that he actually turned around and went in the opposite direction, knowing that there were so many people out on the street. Wow.
I'm sorry, Pat. I lost that last bit of your communication.
No, I said I was just surprised in a way that he turned around and went in the opposite direction, knowing that there were so many people out on the street.
Stacey, link me up with that.
Yeah, I think he's. I
That
really
we're
think the
approaching.
suspect is just zoning out.
Yeah, that were approaching
at this
the
point.
car.
I'm sure that it's so loud. Yeah,
Yep.
it's probably hard to
And
even
I don't know if
really
he's just
imagine how
ignoring
loud
people
this
that
is.
are doing that.
And nobody in
He
the
hasn't had
neighborhood
his
can
windows
do
down
anything
at all,
but think
hasn't had
about
the
this
sunroof
because
open
it's so
at
fucking
all.
loud.
You can see just kind of going along and dragging this out as long as possible. And maybe he's experiencing tunnel vision right now, or like I said, just probably zoned out. We have no idea if this person is under the influence of something as well. And stopping
This
and
is
going, stopping and
this
going
is
here on
phenomenal.
Brea would be
Stacy, this is why you are that's why you have a VIP.
here we go again.
Officers out with their doors open.
You got them there, guys,
And
live and
it's,
raw
well,
and
not
uncut.
interesting, but
Live, raw, and
I guess they
uncut.
want safety too.
Ain't nobody
Really,
listening to
I mean, they
this.
could be on the loudspeakers
Hold on, I'm
telling
gonna
people
turn
to
off
get back on,
Desmond and then
you know, on the
maybe
street or on the curb.
Or we could go side by side. I don't know. What do you guys want, both?
Not getting out, but
Can we do
apparently
that?
Oh, he's gonna
Can I
make
one of
it
these
easy.
pop off? Yeah, okay.
could be
There we
armed
go.
and they could put themselves in
There we go.
totally in
Play
harm's way.
producer
But
Andy
see,
here.
here
Oh,
we
he's
go.
gonna get fucked
Now
up.
you're talking about more than one person.
Yeah, look at all of them. Look at all of them.
The car kicking the
Oh, this is getting really out of control.
the third or fourth kick that this car has occurred. People just want to
That's
come
what's
out,
up.
just want to get on camera with this one.
You motherfucker playing chicken.
Oh my God.
Break the window.
He's here, isn't it? Hey, what's up? Ethelstan.
Yeah, everybody's
Can
in
you
the
believe
street.
this?
Like a
Look at this
protest
is
for
obviously a
our
little
reputation.
behind from what we're seeing over here on the left. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Do I need to hide the bingo card, make it easier? I know this is not the best. Yeah, this is. You're right.
If I had a fucked up truck, trust me, I would have got it right in front of him, blocked his ass in. Man, shut up. Fucking blocking me, bitch. Shut up, I ain't no little kid. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay, I'm gonna take this guy off of here for a minute. We're going back to the real one. That was I'll keep my eye on it, but shut the fuck up.
Wide open street right here
Yep.
for the suspect.
It,
It might
it-
be
that was good content.
LAPD way up there, but we've got
That was great.
the same, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 vehicles, and there's, one LAPD officer, maybe 2 officers.
We need
right
that
there
all
that
the
are
time.
trying to
We
do
just
some
need
crowd control,
like a
but it's
view,
not gonna
like
be
an
enough.
alternative view
And
just on
where
the
is
ground.
the SWAT
I don't even
team?
need
You
it
know,
for
we heard
very
that they were
long.
on the way,
I don't even need it for
and,
very long. I just
don't
need
see
it for a
any
minute, and then
signs
we'll go
of
back to
them
this.
arriving
I just
as,
want to be
this
able to
just
go and be like,
continues
oh,
to
let's
get
look
crazy.
at it from the ground.
And interesting, he
Did the
has
crash
not
work?
tried to speed up. You know, he's got a
Yeah, it did.
straightaway there or a long
What's up,
boulevard, but
Two
he's still driving at the same amount of speed, even slower, really to a crawl. I notice I don't see as many people. Well, there is one person. Well, a couple. You know, when the light
I have to
shines.
wonder if-
Yeah,
He's
I
in
see
his
more people
car
than that.
now? Oh, that's not.
I have to wonder if LAPD
That-
is, threatening people with detention on this one because it's, you're
He's going to try
completely
and go do
interfering
that.
with
I'm
their
going to keep it
operation.
on this for
And
now.
you
His
know,
stream
it-
is
it-
effing too.
it looks to the untrained eye like they're not doing anything, but our understanding is,
He's
they're
doing his
waiting
best
for
out there, though.
SWAT to come in and
You
get
like
a
the
handle on
crash
the
overlay?
situation,
Thank you.
But
I'm
the
glad
longer
you
this
like it.
continues, the more they've got to deal with crowd control, people coming and getting in harm's way, and it seems like no matter what happens, it's never an easy situation for LAPD.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
know,
Desmond, I
dude.
almost
I
thought he was
could,
gonna
but it's
stop.
like,
Again.
Yeah, maybe not wanting to stop
I have to
because
set that up.
doesn't want to get his windows broken by everyone that's been getting involved. Although now as we pull out, it looks like that crowd has stopped, and maybe LAPD did get a little bit more involved with that one, you know. And as we are back
bring the bingo
southbound
card back
on La
now.
Brea and getting back into this residential area, a suspect that's been going on is turning into one of those marathon pursuits, just kind of tootling along here southbound on La Brea, headed back down towards the 10 freeway, ever so slowly turning around. Only 3 good tires, and just a extremely bizarre chase, one of the weirdest ones ever. And what a way to kick off the weekend here, northbound on La Brea. Widen out to show you how many people are. Well, now the suspect coming back up into the crowd, and look at that, yanking on.
Dude, that guy just punched the
Yanking
car.
on the handles again. You've got
That guy
people
punched
looking like
it.
they're trying to get inside the car. Obviously, the suspect having their doors locked, as anyone driving
shit,
in
are
LA
you guys
should.
seeing
We've
this?
all seen the pursuits where people
Yo,
get
you seeing
carjacked
this?
because they have their. Ooh, that was pretty nasty hit right there. Not sure if that was a glass bottle
Hold
or what,
on.
but it was full of something. But
Do I have to go?
we've all seen those pursuits where people have gotten carjacked because they're driving around with their doors
It's
unlocked.
better than nothing, maybe.
So the suspect not letting that happen. Not sure if this is just vigilante
I
justice.
know we're still seeing the
or
border around it, but
people just
I don't know.
being really
Tell me
wild.
what you think.
People trying to take videos for their social media.
Is it
or
unnecessary right now?
What
The
all
guy's
is
really
going
not
on,
showing us much.
on this one, but incredibly weird.
I don't know.
Just
I'll
have
keep
to
it on
wonder
tap though.
how many times can we say I've never seen that before?
I
How
don't
many-
know,
it just
Stacy. What
shows you
would
how
they do?
dynamic these situations are. And even after
There's
covering
something
this for
black
5
where he-
years, we're
is
still
that where he
saying,
punched
actually
it?
6,
Maybe he
6,
put
7 years,
that
almost 7
on
years
it.
I've been doing this. We're still saying how.
Is that the gas cap?
Now,
he just
either
threw something out the window.
I've never seen this before.
he's either they're throwing
He just threw something out
cans
the
at
window. We
him
just
or
got that
he's
on the
throwing
card now.
cans out. You notice that? Well, they're throwing cans at him. I thought
Yeah,
he may have been
Oh,
throwing
it
something
reset.
out.
Yeah.
I hit
Well,
it
I
and
got
it
to tell you,
reset.
Desmond, I've been here for almost
Oh,
33
no, we're
years
gonna
and
have
I
to do it
haven't seen
again.
this. We've been covering, seriously.
Maybe
I
it's gonna
keep
be a
thinking
bingo
about
now.
the most
find
strange
out now.
pursuits. For me, it would be that tank that was in San Diego rolling down the street, and that ended very unfortunately.
He
with
still
the
hasn't
person.
lost the tire.
I believe he was naked, and he didn't make it. But this is just,
Yep.
you know, and what's so frustrating
we
about
still
this
don't
is
have a
because we've,
bingo, right?
we've
Did I
seen
miss one?
nothing really. They haven't been able to do anything. When I say they, talking about law enforcement, they're letting it ride. Oh, he's getting out again.
Oh.
I bet you're not going to get out
well,
that long.
briefly. No, just for a second.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that one
Yeah, the free
became,
square
almost,
resets the
that
card,
one had
though,
international
so it always
notoriety. That
stays
tank
like
one,
that.
I remember that as well. That was one of the first pursuits that
I click
that
on
I've
the
ever seen.
free square
and,
reset the card.
these situations can go south real quick, and we
Yeah.
are talking about someone that LAPD believes has a gun in their waistband right now, which is why we haven't seen any pit maneuvers. It's why we haven't
That's what
seen
they think, but
officers
that I
come
don't know if
and
I
rush
believe
up to
that.
the vehicle and swarm them and try to pull them out, because there are times when they will do
This
that.
guy's
if they just
camera's a
think
little
that someone
smudged up,
is,
you know?
is having a mental health crisis, or if they're disoriented.
Yeah, this
or
guy's
under the
clearly having
influence,
some sort
they
of
might do
crisis.
that.
I
But
mean, this is not.
everything changes as far as
He's not
policy
just being a
goes when
criminal here.
they believe that there's a gun in the car, and we have no idea what this suspect
He's
is
certainly not
thinking.
trying to get away.
If they're going to surrender peacefully or not, it is definitely a concern, and especially a concern with all the people that have been coming out to get involved in this. Now we see LAPD with this intersection shut down. This is La Brea and Venice again, and everyone is. Looks
Now
like
they're going to have to
at
try and
least
devote a
over on
bunch
the
of
sidewalk,
effort to keeping
at
people
this
off the
point,
street.
But,
Still
yeah,
a lot of
this is,
people. That's a busy intersection. Even at this hour of the
definitely
morning.
La Brea and Venice, and yeah, you know, it's Saturday morning, and there's a lot of folks out right now. There's still a lot of folks that are, frankly, just now getting the night started.
Okay, it's
right
all
now. I mean, it is
hunger-based.
only well, 12:40,
He's got a car, or I mean a phone,
12:45, so we
right?
are starting to
There's
get
a phone
on the later side.
in
but,
the car,
You
right?
know, a
Am
lot
I
of
seeing
bars and
that
restaurants
correctly?
are still
For
going to be
sure.
open for about another
That's a
hour
phone,
or so.
right?
So we might actually see the potential for more people to be coming out as they crowd out of businesses that are beginning to close. But now parked perpendicular and stopped. And this is the first that we've seen of this. And we'll see what the suspect is doing. Looks like he's kind of motioning through the windows, but whatever he's motioning, LAPD can't see because of the tints on the vehicle.
Hold on.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
cutting
You know
their
what?
audio. We're going to the
I think that-
YouTube guys' audio. This is the better angle. I'm just gonna bring it back.
Thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry I haven't been reading the chat. We've been trying to stay with this fucking car. Once again, the king of chases, right in the front, as always.
The king of chases, that's right. He's fucked now, I guess. I mean, what happened? Why did he stop here? Can he keep going? I know, Gina, they're not doing much. One of them could just turn around and be like, yo, back up. Yeah, but sure, that shouldn't really stop him. I mean, he could keep going even if a tire went off.
So who knows?
Brewski, welcome.
Probably either ran out of gas or yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, they won't listen, but that cop's just standing there.
Probably didn't make it
Like,
to do that left
chilling.
turn.
If they believe this dude's armed and it had a gun in his waistband, would they be doing that?
Hey, that's Hightower.
How was the chase? Slow and weird. But this is still the chase. So I guess it looks like it's over now.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, what happened to
The whole damn neighborhood's been involved. They've thrown shit at the car. People come out, punch the car, kick the car. Yeah, I guess it is over now. I don't know though, man. He stopped over and over and over and then he starts going.
got a nice little picture on me? Better than that, I ain't have keys. My Glock 23 is bust all y'all shit down though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't pronounce your name, big dog. Your shit too party. I ain't gonna count the car, make the car tire react. Hey, let me see what kind of gun you got. What kind of gun you got? Y'all little tall milk part looking motherfucker. I think I'm sweating and shit.
I know, it sucks that it's not full screen or anything, it's kind of stuff, but it's the best I got, right? Is the rear window busted? I don't think
I'm
so.
gonna go over the West Coast.
It's just reflection.
How you doing? Good, good. Just ran into.
Done with this guy. For the moment, anyway. Okay.
Des, because we've seen things happen, and you don't go out and make motions at officers like you're shooting a gun at them. And it could have been anything. If he would have gotten out with a cell phone in his hand,
Oh shit, he's on the other
anything,
side of it now. Actually,
you know, a
We gotta see
shiny
him,
object,
sorry.
could have been some keys, then this could have
Okay.
been, this could have played out
Okay, this is the
much
fucking
differently.
angle.
That's
Oh,
for
look at
sure.
this. He's
and
gonna
we
try
don't
and
have any
hide.
information that he actually shot someone, but that he brandished a weapon. Is that correct?
Okay, this
That's
is
correct.
great.
It was
Yo,
apparently
this is
pointed a rifle.
next level
at,
meta
I-
shit
I-
when
I-
we can
I
get it
think
from
was
the ground.
the rifle and the handgun at someone that was in a tent. So probably a homeless person somewhere in an encampment. We're talking about a tent. You know, there's no campgrounds nearby in this area, but and it happened
Yeah, the
in the
stringer's gonna
Wilshire
get
area.
shot.
So that's almost certainly the circumstance that this happened. And you know, now these people are face to face with this suspect, and this person here in the white shirt, I think
Yes.
that's the one. Look at this guy's.
Are they
this
talking
this
about
guy's
him?
waving a stick around, and
What? That's not on the other one.
and
Hold
so
on.
they're obviously
We
taunting
can't
this
see
guy.
that. So he's standing
And
right over here, or he's
they're,
one
they're
of these
taunting
people.
someone who pointed a
He's
gun
one
at
of the
someone
people
else
they just
earlier,
showed?
taunting someone that may have a gun in their waistband. It's just crazy all the way around.
It is, and
Yeah,
you
I'm
wonder
going
if
back
they,
to our guy.
if they know that information or not. I mean, this guy is really agitated, the guy in the white shirt, and he has approached this vehicle before, and so did the guy next to him, I believe, with who has an object in his hand. And again, it just takes this guy to get out the car, and I don't know.
Did he have a gun?
They said it did. He was shooting, I don't know, up in the air or up there, I don't know.
Yeah, if he drives at the
So-
streamer, I know, man.
Apparently he is armed, I guess with two weapons, I believe. He was shooting at either up in the air or at the top.
K-pop
Last
song?
I heard.
I've never tried to pull off anything with my hair.
Damn, those tacos do smell good though. Yeah, everyone, I just ran into Laura Shark. She's up right over there, look. Where is she?
So he's just sitting in
Can you
there.
see that? Oh, you can't see her name though. But right there in back of that unit right there.
He looks tired.
In back of
man.
that guy.
Doesn't he?
Back
The
of
guy
him.
in the car, he just looks kind of tired.
That's where she's at.
Exhausted. Defeated. This is the guy we saw in the movie. This is the guy who's yelling. Are they having like some sort of showdown? Might not be the smartest thing to do. Okay, they're telling us to step out. Why do they care? Like, does everybody want to fight him now? Like, what did he do to you?
Oh, he's giving up.
People just get drunk and then want to fight the dude who's been driving around in their neighborhood like a dumbass. He came into the wrong people.
He wants to say something, he should roll down his
guess he
window.
did. Fucking Los Angeles.
Crazy fool.
Just throw something at him?
He said, where's the rock?
Mistake, man.
Oh, I know, I saw you. He's trying to hit you, huh?
Yeah, twice, right? You played it twice.
Man, they should have fucking just trapped his ass sooner.
Yeah, that might
I've been chasing
happen.
for like the last 2.5 hours.
Yep.
They got all the time gas as it is.
But hopefully he just gets
Probably
locked
ran out
up.
of gas
Hopefully they get him
already.
out of his car.
Come on, faggot, get out! Get out, bitch!
Rosie, thank you. Welcome to the family. Official family.
Why is that guy
My
so
voice is
mad?
giving out.
What happened,
Once
man?
again, everybody, welcome.
What happened?
Rosie. Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate that. You did after all?
What did that guy do to them? Do they
Hey,
know this guy?
You know those tacos smell pretty good. I mean, those burritos.
It reminds you of the ending scene of Training Day. It's like
Been
the
out here for a
super
minute now.
scuffed, like sad version.
I'm not in danger.
Hey, Jody. Yeah, they could just let the locals take care of it. I think you're right. It sounds like they're ready to go. The justice will be served.
Man, we ain't stupid. I'm not blind.
Everybody in the area, please.
Man, just take his ass already and shut up.
Come out so you guys don't want to be around the area.
Yeah, no, do or die, DJ, you're right. No, I think you're 100% right. It's just that their protocol, I guess, is if they think the guy has a gun, they do it like this somewhere. It's not really that clear to me how consistent they really are about it. But you're right. If they did that, almost certainly they would just get, it would just be over. And it would be no big deal. But they're afraid that there's the chance that he might shoot at them. So they will wait for the next fucking 5 hours.
Everybody in there, please leave the area. Squad is gonna come and
Man, you don't need that much fucking room, man. Come on now.
stay away from the area.
Oh, they're telling them to back up now. I mean, if they're going to start firing, like, this is making it hard for them to fire those bullets, though, right? Like, do or die GJ, that's one thing that we didn't quite consider, right? Like, they can't run up there and start shooting anything. They can't shoot anything right now with all these people around. That's why they need to get the people out of there. At the very least, they need to get them out because they're going to start shooting rubber shit at them.
Once again, everybody. thank
No,
you for
Canadian
tuning
lady,
in
not
right
that we
here in
know
the
of,
city
and I don't
West
even,
LA.
we don't even know any. It's all just
Shit.
speculation, I guess.
Step out of the car with your hands up.
I believe it's La Brea.
Yeah, Ruski,
Whatever
it's possible
street.
that nothing will happen.
Myself,
in the
Ice
next
Cold
hour.
Audits. West Coast Digital. Up in this bitch.
It's
And you
very
know it.
possible. He is armed. KO. That's why this is happening. He pulled a gun on somebody.
What's up? You got Tom Zebra, guys? Tom.
Look at all these people.
I see Laura.
They got their little fraternity.
Exit the
Their
vehicle.
I
co-worker.
didn't recognize that voice.
And come out with your hands behind your head.
What?
Being like right behind the passenger window. Right, I know what you're saying.
Tom. Far left is up, Stoner. Juanita.
Please lower down your windows.
Red. Sweet ass sugar sweet. How you been, stranger?
This is a
so
block
they can
party.
pepper spray his ass.
Just with a lot of cops.
Por favor, baje la
Amanda
ventana.
A. Big cheese. Little Hoppe. Public eyes. Monica. Monica! How you been?
Salga del carro con las manos arriba y póngala detrás de la cabeza.
He wants options.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Cops, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. All of you, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it right here at West Coast Digital. Ice Cold Audits. You know how we do it.
These
Who
guys
am
are
I?
great
The king
because
of
even
what?
if the news station, they're showing these guys on that guy that he just showed. They're showing them on TV right on the news station.
King, baby, the king.
I mean, it's just why we do it. We just want to see it. If you guys want to see the live view, I can really not. I think we're gonna get
He's
another.
kind of like debating. It looked like he might be on the cell phone.
Alternate view.
Ray Finkel, what's up? He said, chill. He had more drugs in the car than he thought it was going to take. 10
Oh,
to
this
15
one's way
minutes
better.
more to
Oh
go
my
up.
god. Look at this. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, exactly. These guys will stay even if the news leaves. Look at this. 4K, I know, Richie, what the fuck? This is insane. What feed is this? I guess it's WoW Media. I don't know. Shout out to Stacy. She sent it to me. It is Stacy. I take no credit.
Is that RMGSPW on YouTube? Is it? It must be. That's pretty cool setup.
Yeah, you can just do it connects through the HDMI and you can just
This is so good. It's phenomenal content. Yeah, you can see his face. This is crazy. You're subbed to this channel too?
No, it's SIM card. You can put a SIM card in here. And it's like, yeah.
I should maybe subscribe to more of these.
Yeah, I saw him.
What is this? What a loser, yeah. Look at him. He's talking. Maybe to himself, maybe somebody else, I don't know.
We ain't ran his license plate yet and get his name or nothing.
The cops just don't seem all that urgent, right? Like none of this seems urgent. So what are they gonna do? Okay, we've got a. I'm gonna try to play producer Andy here.
No, not holding my pants no more. Jay. What shoe is this?
What do you guys think? Is this good? I don't know. How should I? I'm just fucking around trying to figure out ways to do this on the fly.
To go to waste, let the cops get
Smoke them out, yeah.
Hey, Brett, how's the baby doing? You haven't been in my chest for forever. You abandoned the family.
He's moving around.
Oh, he's crossing his fingers.
not going to answer anything. He's just going to escalate things.
He's
Please
crossing his
stop going.
fingers.
You can hear the cops saying
No.
they're going to escalate.
Señor, si ya no le tienen cosas, salga del vehículo.
This is great.
Either that or he's on a good one, bro.
Yeah, he looks very nervous. Like he's
Oh, so keep on throwing shit then.
like out of his mind. Picture.
If you want them to
good.
stop
It seems
throwing,
kinda
you
good
gotta
to me.
get out. Oh shit, there they go.
Like better than just one of them. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, wait. We gotta see this from the news. We gotta see this from the news.
They got him. They got him. They got him now. Watch him go crazy, start shooting and shit.
Wait.
Supposedly he's armed, so he was shooting at either at the air or somebody, but
You guys want to see it from above? Whoa, you see that guy? Whoa, holy fuck, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, sorry. I fucked this all up. I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen this before? Yeah. What do they do? Just kind of
You're going to be in handcuffs, or you can drag this out a few more hours, and you're going to be in handcuffs, and your eyes are going to be watering, and you're going to be coughing because they're going to inject an irritant gas, and it's going to be so painful, and you're still going to be in handcuffs. So how much longer is this going to go on?
That's a good point, Desmond. And he's just sitting there. I can see his hands on the wheel. It almost looks like he's 10 and 2.
We'll just
Now he's throwing his hands up.
Yeah, we'll just kind of continue to move
Oh,
around.
he's gesturing.
Yeah, and making look.
He's
making those same motions. It looks like that he's making those same motions he was making earlier, Pat.
Yeah, he's doing that machine gun motion. But I don't know. At what point? Go ahead.
I just wonder how. Well, I just wonder how much patience do we really need to drag this out for 2 or 3 more hours? With
Yeah,
you
good point. Do we really need to
call
drag this
on the
out?
loudspeaker? I mean, I feel like you've already given so much deference to this suspect, so much leeway
Right.
for them to
Oh
come
shit,
out.
there's a
and
Bearcat
you,
coming.
Now you've come
Oh,
in,
big
you've
one.
pinned them in.
Okay,
You've
okay,
been calling
okay.
out on the loudspeaker.
They mean
The
business
window's
now.
blown out. There's no way the suspect
They mean
cannot hear
business
you. Now you're even within earshot here with all of these officers, and you just look at all of the resources that are going into this incident to try to bring one person into
Look at
custody
that.
because of whatever is going on in their brain right now. And,
And they're out.
And
Look, the SWAT officers.
They're out.
They're out of the vehicle.
And here's the Bearcat. So now we've got three of the vehicles. There's the classic right here, the Bearcat, the huge armored, basically a military vehicle coming in.
Yeah, he opened his door.
To this side as
There he
well.
is.
So surrounding on 3 sides. And
Okay, 3 sides,
again,
but
you
not the
just
side
wonder
where he's
what
actually
Is he
at.
going to nudge
be
that
going
car? Yep.
Maybe. Well, if there's any good thing here, they don't need to even worry about breaking any windows because one of the windows has been broken anyway. So why not
that
just
one is broken, I guess.
throw some pepper balls in there, throw some irritant gas in there, and let's just get on with this.
Desmond, and
5 out of
look
6.
at this guy, driver. You could get out and surrender. Even if you tried to run away, I mean, you're going to run into people that are pretty upset with you too, all right, and aren't law enforcement. You know what I'm trying to say, Desmond. So.
Yeah.
You catch my drift,
right?
Desmond? The
he
neighbors are
runs in
mad.
Another direction. He's gonna
Faded
get
dude,
tackled.
welcome.
any way you look at it. Well,
Yeah,
they're
this
trying to
guy's
move
busted.
people out of the way.
And they're fucking with all the stringers on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like LAPD is finally getting a handle
They're
on
trying
this
to.
now that they have
The thing is,
the
you
suspects
guys,
surrounded on three
they're
sides
trying
with
to
armored
now
vehicles,
fire something
and,
into this
now
vehicle.
they're really making
They
a
are going to
concerted
start
effort to
firing
shoot people out of here, tell
non-lethal
people to
shit,
go
whatever,
home,
you know, the
and,
pepper
you know,
balls,
just
the
put this
whatever
on
the
KCAL
fuck.
9
They're going to
if
start
you
firing.
want to see
So
how
they're
this
making
is gonna
everybody
play
clear
out
the
the
fuck
next,
out.
10 or so minutes. Instead of
Somehow our guys at WoW
potentially in
Media
harm's
are
way.
still just
But he's still
powering
sitting
through, though.
in the driver's seat, and he's making these motions. I can see it even from here through the
And
window.
myself
We can
being
see
the
through the
genius
tint.
that I am,
We
I
can see
figured
through the
out
tint
how
pretty
to,
well
how
now
to
that they have
make
that
it so
spotlight
that
on,
we
and
don't
you
have
see
to
the
look at the
arms
over,
kind of going back and
the
forth,
YouTube
and it looks
video.
like he's making that machine gun motion again.
They're going to smoke them out. I
but
think
as
you're
you
right.
said, Desmond, you know,
Yeah,
they don't have to put up
Hannah,
with this
you're right.
much longer if they don't want to. They can just,
Yeah,
knock that
sure. I
window
think
out
that's
and,
maybe part of it. Maybe.
you know,
yeah.
spray something and get this guy out of the car.
I mean, they are on fucking TV.
which is probably what they're
Yeah,
going to do.
it seemed. It certainly seems that they could be. I don't know what waiting any longer is going to
The
accomplish
news is,
now
I
when you
know,
have
it being as late
the
as it
suspects
is.
surrounded, and
Mhm.
you've already been shouting out commands for more than a half hour and during the pursuit. So
Slow news day.
the window's already broken for
Their
you.
shift is way
they've
long
got
over,
this
Risky. So,
long
like, it
pole,
is
and I know
now
it sounds funny, but it's called bang
1:15
pole.
there.
That
The
is what the
shift
SWAT
for this
department
guy
actually
who's
calls
talking
it,
while he's
because
in the helicopter, his
it's a
shift
pole that is
ended
capable of breaking
at,
a
like,
window,
midnight.
and
So
it has a
normally
little
they would
claw on
leave,
the end of it that can basically
and
hold
they
a
would
gas
not
canister,
be doing any
and then
chases
they
past,
can
like,
either
11:30.
throw a flashbang in there or some kind of irritant gas or whatever they want to attach to that claw. Kind of think almost like one of those skill
What
cranes
happened to
that
WoW
you would play
Media
in an
guy?
arcade.
They're
but
making
in
him leave.
reverse, they
Oh, you
can
guys
go
see this?
and
The cops
drop
are making
that
him leave
into the
too.
car.
Our stringers are
And
getting busted,
they've definitely
man.
got that inside this vehicle. That was
Stringer's
probably,
getting
I'm sure, part of
busted.
the checklist
That
when they
was
were
great
taking
while it lasted,
so long to
man.
get here, making sure
Good
that they
work
had
while
all
it
of their
lasted.
equipment. So
Did your
I
best.
just got to think whenever they
Tried
want to
your
deploy
best.
this, they
You
should be
gave
able
your
to
all.
bring this to an end pretty quickly.
And you're right, Desmond, and that's why
But
they were
your
called
best
here
just wasn't
in the
good
first
enough
place
this time.
because LAPD didn't want to do this on their own. You know, they showed great patience in following this driver, even when he stopped, got out
Yeah,
of the
sure, they're
car,
conscious
taunted
of that
them, got
shit.
back in the car. So they've shown their patience. SWAT doesn't really have to. Let's
you would
just
have
say
people's
it.
court
They
or
don't have
something
to.
late. Infomercial. That's right.
No, they don't. I mean, you saw how
Much
quickly
better
they came as soon
content
as
than
they came off the freeway and just rushed right up here and came in and cornered.
All right, I'm gonna hide
the
guy
vehicle.
dealing with the
And,
fucking
I mean,
cops. 'cause I
3
think
armored
they're just
vehicles.
gonna
I
keep
can't remember the
doing
last.
this to him.
I'm not sure I've ever
I
seen
mean, if he can
3
get his camera
armored
set up and make it
SUVs
stay,
Yeah.
I'll
or
stay
2
with
armored
him.
SUVs and this little mini tank come up and to come in and corner.
If
one
hardcore
suspect,
gamblers
but,
bet on this
once
shit
again,
for serious
first
money,
time for
and
everything.
Sharp, I just don't
Yeah,
know
and to
who
have them
would make
surrounded
that
like
bet.
this. I mean, we've
like,
seen
I don't know what bet
SWAT
would you make.
deployed, especially. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's
Desmond,
got a hell of
I
a
think
camera. The
about
guy's
the
out.
Christopher Dorner
He's out.
situation in San Bernardino when you had these.
It's over.
You know.
Doors
there-
open.
Okay,
Doors open.
there it is.
Oh, are we coming? Okay, we got to be
You
careful though,
better-
because they
yeah,
thought
you-
that this person had
better
a
hold
gun
your
in their
hands up.
waistband. So, yeah, is this
Better hold
really
'em up.
the end of this right now? We'll try to see if we can zoom in a little bit
Can we
more
get, is
on
there
this
audio
one.
from this?
Because he could jump back in the
Gonna
car.
Go just a,
I don't hear anything. Really?
Yeah, there you go. He's giving up. Come on.
Like, I don't hear anything coming from the police.
Fuck 911. That nigga gonna get out. He gonna be free again. That's right. Let's go.
Oh, he got back in! The crowd is cheering. Yeah, they could have, Gina, they could have just fucking tackled him. He's drunk? I don't know. He's something. I mean, he's beyond drunk. This is wild, Stuntman Mike. This has been a hell of a... He's out again? He's out again. Oh, he's walking away. Oh, they shot him. Oh, we gotta see it. Sorry. We gotta see it on the other one. to get over here.
You know we in there. Get back.
Oh, maybe it's the rest. Okay, he got over here. Okay, there he is, there it is. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make me dizzy with this shit. Trying to direct. Yeah, he clearly has nothing in his hands. Right, I'm with you. It was funny that he tried to run. I don't know. I guess he expected that. He's gone. That's it, guys. Code 4, they got him. Did he smile? I think he did. 2.5 hours? Is that how long I've been streaming?
LAPD just very happy that this
Really?
coincided with us running
Oh
low on
my
fuel.
God.
We were able to bring you the conclusion of this marathon. It just would have been so painful to have gone through all of this to bring all of this to you and not even gotten on camera how this ended. But
I
ended with
agree,
the
that is good.
suspect being slammed
The
to the
Desmond
pavement
got
by
to
6 or
stay. It
7
was a
officers
perfect
there.
length. The Desmond got to stay. They didn't
Just,
run out of
you know,
gas. None
really
of that.
fortunate that this did not end in a tragedy, considering what this person was wanted for and the fact that LAPD believed that this person had a gun in their waistband.
Sure,
Yeah,
I don't
well-
know. Good question.
You know what? At least we could say that this ended with no one harmed, no one hurt. Whether he pulled a
Okay.
weapon on a
Yeah,
homeless
the crowd
person,
cheered.
we don't believe
Thanks,
that
LA,
he fired
right?
it, but still, things could have gone much
Yeah,
worse.
he could have gone
And lucky
from
for him, they
busted to
did it
wasted.
because, as you know, Desmond, when we've watched that guy waving his hands around and pointing them at officers, you know, we could have seen something really terrible.
Gonna have
happen. But
best
here
May
he
ever.
is in handcuffs.
hope we
and
all do.
Really, he should be lucky that he's in handcuffs. We don't know his mental state.
That was
but
awesome.
this
I
is
got so
something
much
that,
content the last couple
you know,
nights.
He
This
seemed
is
like
amazing.
he was having some kind of psychotic break or something, and we don't
Yeah,
know
I,
if
I
that
think
has
that's the
been
case. I
momentarily
think people like
or
this
if
are
this
having
is,
some sort of psychotic
ongoing
issue,
or
like
not, but
episode.
We've
The
got
guy
a
last
code
night,
4,
probably
and
the same
suspect
shit.
is in handcuffs, and this slow speed
Yeah, I appreciate him
pursuit
too. Big
is
time.
over.
And in fact, oh, thank
And
you
we
for
can finally
following.
begin our weekend, Pat.
Well, Desmond, how about that? I mean, we've got to drive to where we have
Invite
to go.
this guy to come
but
on my stream with me anytime. Open
It's always a
invitation.
pleasure
You can
working
come
with
on
you.
here. We can
Yeah,
talk about
it's
it.
just
I
unfortunate
want to hear your
In-N-Out's
side
closed
of
at
the
this point,
story.
Yeah, that's true. So, look, Desmond, I'm going to wish you, look, I'm going to wish you a
Look at
good
all these
weekend.
people.
We still have to get that dinner in, don't we?
What are they taking?
Absolutely,
Is this a photo
anytime.
shoot now?
And let's make a date.
All
This
right,
cop
you got
posing,
it.
he's
All right,
like,
Desmond, I'm going to wish you,
he
and
or
is that Chris
she
up there with you?
Is now the police IG
My excellent
model.
pilot, Chris, who has done a fantastic job on this.
Hey,
And we
thank
got
you, Hannah.
Mike at the desk
Thanks,
who stayed
everybody.
on this.
I
and
gotta go
everyone
to
in the
bed.
communication center. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we're losing it here. We got to.
Oh, we're losing it.
Even the camera's getting tired here, Pat. The camera is ready to start the weekend here.
You
got it.
Of La Brea and Venice, but yeah, a code 4 here came to a conclusion. And,
Yeah, sometime after
thanks
his
to
arraignment,
everybody who
long
stayed
after
late
that,
to
probably.
help us get this
All
conclusion.
right, everybody.
All right. Well, Desmond, then I will
Have a
talk to you
good
on
night.
Monday. Have a
Thank
good weekend.
you.
And thank you.
I appreciate it.
everyone,
Hopefully we
for
can do this
watching
again
on
soon,
KKL9.
but
We're gonna turn you
I got to tell you that it doesn't happen
regular programming.
as much as it feels like. You know, as much as the pace that we've gone at for the last 3 or 4 days is not sustainable. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.